on the board, and number 91, Mike Gillette. Pretty shocking, though. He's only played 8 games this year. He just is coming off a game where he got his first career ECHL goal, and John Gillette's brother will not be in the lineup tonight for the Utah Grizzlies, but we mentioned Sage Weinstein will. A couple other new guys, Luke Antonacci coming off a goal on Wednesday. Yaroslav Yevdokimov, he will be wearing number 19 tonight. We mentioned him as number 77 last night, and that's what, if you remember, there was a delay after the second Utah goal. That's what it was. They were trying to figure out, hey, we've got a 77. We don't have a 19. So they were just trying to make sure that they got everything all sorted out, and it looks like they have. So that is the lineups as they look right now, with Wall back only about 4 or 5 guys short from the AHL, as Sloan Stanek, Jordan Gustafson, not Samuel Maya anymore, Arthur Cholach, and Cameron Whitehead are all up with the parent club in Henderson. They will all be getting some reps, and now they will look to, the Night Monsters will look to continue their goal scoring, just limit it on the other side. We'll take a commercial break, and we'll be right back with starting lineups and puck drop here on this retro weekend. In spirit of the Olympics, it's retro Olympic jerseys. You're listening to Tahoe Night Monsters Hockey. I'm Mixler, and watching live on FloHockey.tv.
Go on. Get a little out there. Into the big heart of Nevada. 60 million acres of wide open public land for night monsters like you to explore. From sagebrush saloons to ghost towns, epic adventures are in store. Experience Nevada away from the neon lights. Take a dip in a natural hot spring where the temperature is just right. And gaze up at the darkest skies in star-studded delight. Explore the Silver State and plan your trip today at travelnevada.com. That's travelnevada.com. Innovation, performance, dedication. For nearly 80 years, thermal technology has been the leader in high-temperature furnaces and hot press sintering systems built right here in the USA. Our cutting-edge DCS and hot press technology powers industries from semiconductors to aerospace, medical, and top research labs. We're proud to be the only U.S. OEM for SPS and DCS systems, delivering unmatched precision and providing support for up to 20 years, twice the industry standard. Built with precision, engineered for excellence, thermal technology, the high-temperature experts. Fans, Lake Tahoe's South Shore isn't just a destination. It's a jaw-dropping, mind-blowing, awe-inducing experience. It leaves you happier, less stressed, and more connected to the world around you. This place is all sorts of awe and then some. And with the rules to lake by, you can help keep it that way. Just 5 simple rules to help keep Tahoe beautiful, clean, and safe for generations to come. It's connecting with nature and protecting it at the same time. Learn how you can help at visitlaketahoe.com/RTLB. That's visitlaketahoe.com/RTLB.
If you're injured in an accident, here are the things that matter. Who you hire to represent you matters.
Where they live may seem like it doesn't matter, it matters.
The Richard Harris Law Firm employs over 150 local people.
Trabajamos aquí.
We live right here. We know Nevada. We know the courts. And we know how to win.
If you're injured in an accident, who you hire to represent you matters. The Richard Harris Law Firm, 222-2222.
At GEHA, we stand behind our members because we are founded by members. So with 0 shareholders to mind, we keep our members in mind by offering a health plan for every stage of life. Plus hearing and fitness discounts. At GEHA, one thing is clear. Your health isn't our business, it's our purpose. That's why we've been trusted by millions of federal employees and retirees across the country since 1937. Visit GEHA.com to find your federal health plan.
Welcome back here to Tahoe Blue Event Center. Starting lineups just about in the books. We'll take you to the national anthem here upcoming as we've got some special guests joining the Night Monsters on the ice as we've got our blue line buddies out there from Sierra Inline Hockey League. And now we'll take you to the national anthem. Let's play some hockey, shall we? Starting lineups first for the visiting Utah Grizzlies. They'll start on defense with number 6, Luke Salem, alongside number 21, Noah Gansky. The forward line, welcoming back to the lineup for the first time this series, number 10, Stefan Timofeyev, out there with number 12, Riley Connors, and number 26, Danny Geniev, with number 35, Dominic Bassi, and net 3, 4, and 2 on the year, 3.52 goals against, .885 save percentage. Night Monsters counter with a pretty much all-California lineup. The California D pair of number 5, Kalen Taylor, and number 26, Nate Callan. The California forwards, number 15, Jake McGrew, and number 16, Jake Derflinger, out there with the lone Michigan native, number 21, Adam Pitters. And in net, it'll be Jordan Paperny, 11-8, 1-1, 3.55 goals against, and a .908 save percentage. Utah wears the white helmets, black pants, and white jerseys with black nameplates and black numbers. The Night Monsters, black helmets, black pants. They'll wear their Team USA jerseys, blue jerseys with white and red stripes on the bottom, TAH in red diagonal font across the front, and on the back it is red numbers with white trim and red nameplates honoring that 1960 gold medal team. As we mentioned earlier, the referee is Grant Hendrick, and the linesmen are Austin Bove and Cameron Dykstra. Night Monsters move from left to right to start the period in the beautiful baby blues. It'll be Utah from right to left. Both centermen glide in, Pitters and Connors, and we're underway here on this Friday night. Tahoe dumps it in, looking to avenge themselves after falling 9-6 on Wednesday night. That one is sent back down. It'll quickly go for an icing just 13 seconds into the game. We wanted to update you. There were some flow issues earlier. It was with the FloHockey website, so don't think that your device was crashing out on you. So we're now live on 3 spots. Mixler, as always, we thank those of you listening in. FloHockey.tv, I hear we're back up there, so thank you for sticking with it. And we're also streaming free on the FloHockey YouTube, so welcome in for the first time that audience as the offensive zone draws one by Utah. They'll bank it into the neutral zone all the way back down. Geneyev gives chase. Taylor's there. Drop back to Connors. Drops it looking for a pass in front. As this one will be muscled up to the left point. Riley Connors, again, a 2-goal night last night. Dumps it down for Kalen Taylor. Taylor, one of those 4 California natives starting for the Night Monsters. As Connors, a turnover. He scores. And that happened last time out. A quick goal in the opening minute for the Grizzlies, and I don't think I can name a hotter player on the forward line than Riley Connors. He's got 3 goals in the last 2 games, and Utah leads 1-0. That one didn't take very long at all. And now the Night Monsters chase the lead. So back to work, 19:21 to go here in the first. It's 1-0 Grizzlies thanks to Riley Connors and his 8th goal of the season. Friesen back behind for Reed Lebster. Reed Lebster, another guy up there in the mix for hottest players. Tyler Gratton has this one in the zone, wraps it out in front, looking for Hanson Bucata. Getting his stick on it was Paperny, but it's back out front and intercepted by Kevin Wall. Almost another opportunity in behind the defense there for the Grizzlies. That's kind of what happened last night. They got 2 in the opening 3 or 4 minutes of the game. Tahoe battled back to tie it, but Utah just kept on fighting. This one's back for Brendan Kapchek, goes across for Lyndon Alger. It's intercepted by Lebster. Lebster with 23 goals on the year, although I think he had the empty netter on Wednesday. They haven't changed it yet, so in my mind he's at 24. But nonetheless, Kapchek banks it off the boards in front of the Grizzlies bench. No icing, even though Bassey wanted it on the far side. Luke Adam in the roulette wheel face-off circle up top. Taylor down low. Mike O'Leary's got it. Connors out there muscling him and taking him down. He'll have to spin it back towards Poliani. Up top, right point, Kapchek walks in against Kennedy. A shot, and that one trickles wide. It was blocked by Sage Weinstein, who we talked about coming back for the Utah Grizzlies. Alger back in deep, so is Kapchek. Line change for Utah. This one will be banked forward ahead. It'll be tipped behind the goal line by Jake McGrew. Now Salem up for Mikey Coella. Now finding John Gillette. His brother Mike not in the lineup, but John still is. Anthony Collins pushing Gillette up against the Utah bench. This one worked out far right side. Gansky, D-to-D for Salem. They maneuver now out of the zone into neutral ice. It's tipped ahead by Coella. Back in behind, first one there is Kalen Taylor in the blue, red, and white. And it's back out to neutral ice for Antonacci. Night Monsters faithful trying to get their side back into it after they've given up a goal in the opening minute in back-to-back games. As Casey Bailey, former NHLer, spins that one into the near side. Kevin Wall, who we'll talk to in the intermission interview, digs that one out but has it taken away by Timofeyev. Geneyev tried to maneuver around Maye but was taken down. Antonacci still with it, dumps it behind the zone. Geneyev with pace right out front. Connors, another try, and that one tipped off a stick in front. That might have been his second of the game. Near side, almost intercepted and played back in front by Connors, but it's worked out. Utah will retreat back at their own end. Antonacci backhands that one through neutral ice, slowed up by Kapchek. He'll bank it ahead. Now back for Derflinger. It trickles all the way to the far corner, and Alger will have to play it. Intercepted, Friesen. Tried to bank it ahead to Tyler Gratton, the Arizona State product. And now it's back to Weinstein. Good hand-eye by Friesen to bat that one down on the blue line. It's worked ahead. Derflinger giving chase. No icing, as this one on the far side is controlled by McGrew. Weinstein wraps it around. Colby Enns will play it up. Lebster has it caught in his skates. Derflinger turns it over, tried to drop it to Pitters, but he couldn't control it, and now Gratton up ahead to Friesen. At least exits the zone, but it's going to be quickly taken back by Utah. In their own end, Gansky up ahead. Finds one of those new guys, Henri Schreifels from Stonehill College. Mike O'Leary couldn't corral that one. Matthew Boilard banks that one ahead back to Schreifels. There's a delayed offsides on Utah, so Sean Kennedy has to check back up. Mike O'Leary knifing through the defense at the blue line, drops it. Adam, a shot save. Bassey, follow-up. Callan couldn't quite get the backhand. Adam behind the net, trying to maneuver it out in front to the far side. We're going to get a penalty. It's going to be a hook. And from the indication of the touch, it looks like it's going to go against the Grizzlies. So another storyline to be looking out for. It's Genev to the box. Both power plays were perfect last night. 2 for 2 were the Grizzlies, 2 for 2 were the Night Monsters. After the Night Monsters had a rough go on the man advantage in January, only scoring 5 on 37 attempts, they went 2 for 2 in that game, their first one at home in February. They springboard themselves from 4th to 2nd in the ECHL. As they get ready to go, near side circle, that faceoff won by the Grizzlies, and Salem will bank it back behind. Genev gets 2 for hooking, as we mentioned, so it'll be Callan streaking through neutral ice, gains the blue, chips it around Salem, gets in behind the net, back across for Adam. Up top, Kevin Wall banks one back behind. Adam will just aid its attempt. Callan, far side trapezoid, cutting it down. Wall, near side half wall. Maneuvers around the circle, up top, Bailey, oh my, his stick exploded. Follow up, that one goes wide by Callan, so Bailey will go off and get a fresh twig. Up to the right point, Wall, dancing around Gillette, works into the near side circle, in beneath the net, right out in front, scores! The captain with a gold medal finish. Luke Adam makes it 1-1. Beautiful pass, beautiful finish by the captain. And he's now scored in 3 consecutive games. If you date back even further, he scored in 4 of the last 6. He ties the game here tonight. It's 1-1. Utah dumps that one back in behind Yaroslavyev Dakimov. Connors in the far corner, battling for possession with Olivier LeBlanc, who's back in the lineup for the first time since January 4th. That one banked into the bench. Alex Lowe has to duck for cover. He does so successfully. We get a whistle, 13:44 to go. It's 1-1. We got a brand new hockey game, and we have a timeout on the ice. So we'll take it with them. Night Monsters strike on the power play. They tie it up. You're listening to Night Monsters Hockey. I'm Mixler and watching live on FloHockey.tv and YouTube.
If you're injured in an accident, here are the things that matter. Who you hire to represent you matters.
Where they live may seem like it doesn't matter, it matters.
The Richard Harris Law Firm employs over 150 local people.
Trabajamos aquí.
We live right here. We know Nevada. We know the courts. And we know how to win.
If you're injured in an accident, who you hire to represent you matters. The Richard Harris Law Firm, 222-2222.
Welcome back here to Tahoe Blue Event Center. It's 1-1 between the Grizzlies and Night Monsters. A lot of scoring. It looks like it's going to stay that way here tonight as we're just about 6 and change into the first period, and we've already got a pair of goals. So if you're just joining us on one of the 3 platforms we're live on tonight, Riley Connors, 8th of the year, in just the opening 45 seconds or so to make it 1-0 Utah, but then Luke Adam on the power play ties it up. This one sent all the way down by the Night Monsters. It's going to go for an icing, so it'll be an offensive zone draw for Utah. A rare taste of country music here inside Tahoe Blue. A little Johnny Cash on tap for us here. Ring of Fire, very fitting for the Olympics. The Olympic rings, Olympic torch. Face off on the near dot, won by the Night Monsters. They'll exit. Devin Poliani works it out, near side, cutting in against Hanson Bucata. It's in the corner, right out in front, tipped away by Bassie. That was almost trouble. Kept in. Near side trapezoid, O'Leary. Wraps it around looking for Swick. LeBlanc tries to poke it ahead, but it's taken away by Lebster. He'll drop it back for Antonacci, but it's kept in at the right point by Maillet. Tyler Gratton being stick poked by O'Leary. He'll wrap it near side for Hanson Bucata. Night Monsters cannot keep that one in the zone, so it'll exit. As Lebster plays this one into the zone. Sends it across. One-time blast, Gansky, and that one was tipped wide. And now Night Monsters, they might use some numbers here. They bank it in far side. It's going to go for an icing. And you see some arms on the Night Monster bench explode after that call. Pretty quick one. Nonetheless, it's going to be a face-off in the Tahoe defensive end. Casey Bailey's still trying to get an explanation in front of the red, white, and blue. Pretty good showing here so far on First Responder Weekend. Face off, far right side, Connors and Pitters. Face off won by Utah, shot on quickly, blockered away by Paperny. Up top left point, Salem D2D Gansky. Ripping one, an easy glove save for Jordan. And congrats to Luke Adam. He was the Thermal Tech Heat Check Player of the Game, so it was funny. When Thermal Technology sponsored Military Weekend, they sponsored the Friday and Saturday games, and they also sponsor the Heat Check Player of the Game, and it hit both Military Weekend games. What a coincidence. How funny is that? It hits again here, first time in February. It'll be a face-off to the left of Paperny on the far right side. Bailey against Connors. Tied up to the far right wing. Genev trying to break it free. He does. Tries to poke it to Salem, but it's exited by Tahoe. Kevin Wall back to retrieve in his own end, trying to cut through a couple of Grizzlies in white. He'll poke it ahead, but it's quickly banked back out to Genev, who nearly was taken down, and now numbers for the Grizzlies. Timofeyev cuts in, sends it across, and that one stays wide. Another chance sent in through traffic. Timofeyev trying to bat that one free. As now the Grizzlies will kind of retreat back. Bailey will have some room to get it out. Adam ahead to Wall. Back touch. Adam, far trapezoid. Tried to send one across the face of goal, but it's blocked by Colby Enns, who's wearing a fishbowl tonight. LeBlanc a little too far on the stretch pass looking for Blake Wells. Grizzlies maintain the other way. They poke it ahead, and it'll be taken up by Maillet. Derflinger. Nice stick move around Gillette. Derflinger, far side. Banks it around, near trapezoid. Collins, back to Derf. In front, looking on a sharp angle shot. Chaos in front. Whistle covered up, and now some pushing and shoving. Jake Derflinger getting into the mix. The penalty minutes leader on Tahoe. Always in the action to stir it up. .11:13 to go in the first period. Shots are 3-3. Night Monsters heavily outshot Utah on Wednesday night, which is something we've talked about. They only did for the 9th time in 44 games. It's pretty rare to see that. They're so accurate with how they shoot. Maillet at the right point controls. He'll try and walk it down, but good stick by Boilard. That one will be sent back down. LeBlanc tries to corral Connors, keeps it in the zone. Far circle, a shot, and a save by Paperny. Boy, Riley Connors is going to hope this series doesn't ever end. He's had a pretty good start to it. 2 goals last night, as we talked about. He had the first one today for Utah. I mentioned he's probably one of the hottest players on the team in terms of streaking and points, but it's not necessarily true. You got Geneyev, who had a 5-point effort, and a guy like Reed Lebster, who is at 20-plus goals. Swick, near side, in front. Bassey knocked the net off its moorings. Play continues with a dislodged net. I wonder if they're going to look at that, but down the other way, Schreifels in behind the net. Losing his stick is Kapchek. And now we get a whistle, and penalty arm is up. And we'll see what the call is. It looks like it's going to be on Swick with how much he is arguing with the officials. Now it's going to be on Alger. So Lyndon Alger, 2 for an elbow. And Utah goes to the power play. They're trying to stay perfect. They scored on both on Wednesday, as we mentioned. If they scored on this one, it would give them the lead back for the first time since the opening minute. So here we go. Bailey takes the draw against Friesen on the near side. It's poked back to Tahoe and wrapped all the way around for Bassey, who has to get a little bit of assistance into the boards behind the net. Hanson Bucata drops it over for Lebster, back across for Geneyev. He is so quick. He'll drop it back to Reed Lebster. Up the near left wing, cuts around Callan, in deep on the circle, lost possession, and it'll be airmailed all the way back down, right behind for Bassey. Still sporting his St. Lawrence University colors. Hanson Bucata drops that one back. Geneyev cuts into the play. Far side circle, working in, a shot high, save Paperny, and he gets the rebound as it was kicked loose for a whistle. Minute 15 to go in the minor penalty to Alger. 9:46 left in the first. Fans, a reminder that throughout the weekend, the Night Monsters will be auctioning off player-issued jerseys as well as retro weekend team-signed mini sticks, pucks, nameplates, and a team-signed stick and goalie mask. Those are always pretty cool to see. And a new addition, which we'll talk about in a minute. Connors bats it back to Timofeyev. He keeps the line at the point. Back down Connors. On the near circle, shot saved Paperny. A stick loose of Dokimov enters the play as that one's banked back down. Tahoe takes it out. Night Monsters will also be auctioning off a retro weekend snowboard. It is pretty sweet. I've seen it a couple of times. Be sure to get your bids on Dash as if Dokimov drops it off. Timofeyev shot roofs into the netting, and we get a whistle with 9:17 to go. Again, these will all be on the Dash auction app. You can download it on the App Store or Google Play. And tomorrow night, following the conclusion of the game over in sections 101 and 102, we will have our post-game game-worn jersey auction for these beauties. Bring your bidder numbers and come on down and own a piece of Night Monsters history. Face-off won by Utah, sending it across. Geneyev, a slapper, blocked away by Paperny. Hanson Bucata fanned on the pass. Pitters trying to get it out. He can't. Lebster in front, sends it across far side. Geneyev, touch up to Bucata. Back over Geneyev, far circle, sending it across. Lebster controls, but can't get momentum for a shot. Back across, Geneyev, far circle, working in. That one blocked in front by Blake Wells. 20 seconds left shorthanded. Grattan on the circle. Back up top, Geneyev sends it in the crease for Friesen, and that one trickles wide. Still alive. Taylor will spin it out to Blake Wells, and he will get it out with 5 seconds. That'll kill it off. So, folks, the first penalty kill in this series belongs to Tahoe. and we stay tied. Weinstein retreats in his own end. Weinstein takes a tumble, and they're going to get another crack pretty early. That's going to be another penalty. Not much of an argue from Bailey as he knew where he was going, right to the box. 2 for a trip on the former Ottawa Senator and Toronto Maple Leaf. And we'll take a TV timeout. We'll keep it here, though, with 8:18 to go in the first period. And fans, we want to remind you that this game and every game this season are brought to you by FloHockey.tv. Have you heard? This season, FloHockey will be your home for all things hockey, including live streams of every game. Go to FloHockey.tv, FLOHockey.tv, or download the Flow Sports apps on iOS or Android, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, Roku, or Chromecast. Again, wherever you may be tuning in to this game, we've got, like I said, we've got a new platform, 3 platforms tonight. Mixler, our audio listeners listening in, thank you very much for your continued support. All of you on FloHockey.tv, thank you as well for your continued support throughout the year and for sticking with the technical difficulties throughout the night. And for those of you on YouTube, we hope you stick around for a little more Night Monsters hockey. We're glad to have you here on this Friday night. It's turning out to be a dandy so far. 1-1 between Tahoe and Utah. So it'll be Bailey to the box for a trip. Looks like you're going to get the second power play group out there for Utah. It'll be Connors, Yevdokimov, Timofeyev, John Gillette, and Gansky. You know, normally you see Grattan, Geniev, Hanson, Buchanan. That's the top line. Here's line 2. Let's see what they can do. Face-off one by the Grizzlies. Across Timofeyev, a one-time blast, blocked in front. It rebounds to Gansky. Far circle, cutting in Connors, looking for a lane against LeBlanc. Can't find one, so now wraps it around near left point. It'll be Timofeyev, cutting to Connors, wrapping around to the far circle, trying to slow up. John Gillette was taken down. Back up top, one-time blast, Timofeyev, and a high glove save by Jordan Paperny. Pretty cool to see these nifty Team USA inspired jerseys, and perfect timing. The Milan Olympics opening ceremonies were earlier today, and tonight they did the primetime tape delay show. Well, that means Olympic hockey starting up real soon. The women's starts, I believe, today. Lebster sends that one across, far circle Geniev. Top unit back out there for the Grizzlies. Across Lebster, that one trickles wide, and Hanson Buchanan keeps the line at the right point. Geniev on the circle, back behind the net for Grattan. Grattan took a tumble, gets it to Geniev. Back up right point, Hanson Buchanan. Crowd alive. Geniev cutting in, sends that one way high. It's off and into the netting. 7:14 to go, 59 seconds left in our first period. Grizzlies have controlled possession here as of late. They're out shooting Tahoe 9-5. That one won over to the far right wing. It's poked out, and now Luke Adam all alone on a break. Runway cleared, oh, and he ramped it just high and wide. He was looking for his second of the game. Crisis averted for the Grizzlies. Geniev lost it. Wall was slow to make the turn on a dime, or he would have had a break of his own. Lebster cutting back, 30 seconds left on the minor penalty to Bailey. Hanson Buchanan gains the blue line and will send it in to the near side, looking for Geniev. Back behind, his touch was too far in front, and it'll be golfed ahead. Here comes O'Leary. Tried to maneuver around Hanson Buchanan for a wide open McGrew, but Utah's going to turn it over. Friesen drops for Lebster. Lebster left point, drops it down low. Grattan. Grattan cutting in right in front. Friesen, and a save by Paperny. Grattan, far trapezoid. Bailey out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5, and he immediately pokes that one into the air as Dom Bassi is out from his crease to beat Bailey, who was hustling in all alone. Knifing around. Good job by Pitters to try and get the stick lift, but Kennedy stays strong. Sean Kennedy cuts around one, works in, far side, had Trifles on the back door, but he couldn't quite corral the one-timer. Pitters had his stick explode. It will be worked out by Bailey to neutralize, so Pitters quickly gets a fresh twig from Jackson Hibbard and is back into the motion. Maye, near side corner, trying to work it out. Back out in front, Kennedy went skate to stick, couldn't quite corral it cleanly, so now it's battled for. Taken out, Kennedy back with it. Can't get it on his stick, and now it's taken out by Derflinger. He'll fling it on the backhand to the red line. Paperny. Back for Maye, who's just going to settle things for a minute. Get a change for his guys. Swick and Collins onto the ice. LeBlanc over for Maye. Maye sends it through. Collins gets a tap, dumps it in beneath the goal line. Wells giving chase. Swick is there. Right point. Cap check. Cutting in. Dancing around one. Works in on the goal line. Wraps it to the far side. Left point. Alger goes to Collins. Collins wrists one on, and a pad save swallowed into the glove by Bassi. We're going to get another TV timeout. 4:46 to go. Here in the first period, it's 1-1. You're listening to Night Monsters Hockey on Mixlr and watching live on FloHockey.tv or YouTube.
The 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Take your bid on game-worn jerseys from ECHL All-Stars, including Night Monsters forwards Devin Poliani and Sloan Stanek, as well as goal pucks from both teams. Visit mygrayauctions.com to get in on the action today. The auction closes on February 12th.
Great to have you here on this Friday night, the first in the month of February. Everyone's in the Olympic spirit. We've got some visitors from Utah that made the trip, as we saw there on the live stream on FloHockey and YouTube. A warm welcome if you're coming in from Salt Lake City. For the penultimate time, the Night Monsters and Grizzlies will face off here at Tahoe Blue Event Center. Unfortunately, Utah announced earlier in the year they are moving to Trenton, New Jersey. They'll become the Iron Hawks next year. This one won by Utah, played ahead by Connors, tried to get it to Evdokimov, who slipped up, delayed offsides on the Grizzlies. Alger ahead to Adam across center ice. O'Leary was offside, so they'll have to wrap it back and touch it up. Poliani skies that one far side to O'Leary. Right point cap check, a shot save made, Bassi, and he'll swallow it into the pads. Quickly, knowing there's some danger coming. So we mentioned Tyler Grattan back out there for Utah. Like myself, a fellow Arizona State University graduate. He'll be on the far right wing. Poliani, 32 goal scorer last year for Savannah, will be in the faceoff dot for Tahoe. He wins it. Callan cutting in, sends it in front. Poliani a chance, and another save made by Bassi. So another face-off. Near side face-off circle. Poliani and Friesen. Friesen ties that one up to the near wing. O'Leary trying to intercept it from Gansky. A battle ensues behind the net. O'Leary banks up right point. Callan, D to D. Taylor feeds one through, blocked in front. Good play there by Lebster. Friesen Back over to Webster, far right wing, sending it all the way across, looking for Gratton. It was behind, and now that one lasered through neutral ice, looking for Poliani, but that one will be played out back behind by Webster. Taylor pops a tire, working to the near side is Webster behind the net. Crowd getting into it. 3:30 left in the opening period. 10-8 are the shots in favor of the Grizzlies. Swick cuts around ends. Bailey in behind Weinstein. He gets upended as Swick lays the shoulder on the far half wall. Wall up top. LeBlanc, left point. His shot catapults into the air, and it'll be played out by the Grizzlies, but too far as it'll go for an icing. You know, when looking at the abundance of stats we get from the ECHL, when you look at a team's record, you're always curious to see home and road splits. And usually a team at home is a lot more successful than a team on the road. That is not the case at all for the Utah Grizzlies. 13-11-2 on the road. They only have 16 wins on the season, so they're 3-12-2 at the Maverick Center. So these road trips have been kind to them. Bailey and Connors in the face-off circle. It's won by Bailey. Wall, back taps to Maye. He'll send it down low. Connors wraps it behind Timofeyev, sending that one through neutral ice. Another pass that looked too far for a minute, but they wave off the icing late. Maye behind the net. Connors right in front of Paperny. Gets it over far side for Swick. Now Bailey gains the red. Slows up at the blue, but lost it. Timofeyev just dumps it back ahead. Alger re-enters. He gets hauled down by Antonacci, who caught a face wash up high as Wall intercepts a neutral ice. He works it in. Penalty upcoming on the Grizzlies. Wall cuts in, wraps in front. Couldn't get it to McGrew cleanly. That one touched up by Timofeyev. Now some pushing and shoving between him and Pitters. Couple of guys getting into the mix, but it looks like Utah will go to the box. It'll be Timofeyev getting 2 minutes, so Tahoe looking to stay perfect. State Line faithful igniting their special teams. We'll get the call here in just a moment. Luke Adam and Tyler Gratton are over there having a discussion with Grant Hendrick and Austin Bove. Not exactly sure what's going on. Again, we had this last night, or last game out on Wednesday, where we were having a debate over whether Yaroslav Yevdokimov was wearing number 19 or 77 for the Grizzlies. And I think it was made abundantly clear by the big 19 on the back of his jersey that the answer was right there in the making in the black font. So they open the penalty box gate for Timofeyev, and he's going to make his way to the locker room. I'm not at all sure what for. But nonetheless, it's a pretty considerable loss. Oh, it's a major. That's why they put it on the board. So Stefan Timofeyev in this series plays just under 18 minutes after not playing last night. And wow, this is a chance to break the game wide open for the Night Monsters. Again, if you're newer to the major penalties, they don't expire. A team on a major penalty on a power play can score at will as many times as they want. It doesn't reset. It doesn't reduce like we see on double minors. It's just 5 minutes. You got to play. And for Utah, this is so important to get line changes, as looks like John Buchanan, the first-year head coach of the Grizzlies, gets an explanation along with Tyler Gratton. They got it delivered. Yeah, that's a penalty you never like to see. Mikey Coella's going to serve it. It's a match penalty for slew footing. So you may see a fine for that as Wall gets it over to Callan, left point. Wall across, Bailey. One-timer, he fanned on it, back behind for Luke Adam. Poliani tried to keep it in, but it's dumped all the way down. So Timofeyev will hit an early shower as Kevin Wall sends this one over to the far side for Adam. He goes across the slot for Poliani. Up top, Callan drops it back down for Adam. Those two going back and forth. Adam now, top of the circle, tried to feed it across the wall, but it got tied up. Wall does do a nice job to keep it in for a moment before it's sent all the way back down by the Grizzlies. So they've killed off the opening 55 seconds on this match penalty for a slew foot. That usually does result in a suspension and a fine, so we'll see what comes of that come Monday. Kapchek keeps it in at the left point, intercepted. Geniev breaks a tackle, and now he's got a break. Geniev drops. Gansky back to Geniev, and he sent it behind the net with a minute left in the first period. He had to work around Kapchek, who was trying to drag him down a little bit. He did so and just couldn't finish it off as Gansky will take his sweet time. Go D to D for Salem, sending it right on Paperny. That was a rocket from his own end. It's Pitters dropping for Swick. Dropped a little wide for Kapchek, who's in neutral ice. Stick tipped by Utah, but it's spun all the way in. Bassi gets his stick on it, 20 seconds left. He'll bank it up the near side. It's kept in by Poliani. Now wrapping to the far side, Pitters. Tied up by Hanson Bucata. 10 seconds to go in the opening frame. Poliani breaks it free. Across. Swick with room. Scores! Trent Swick salutes some fans behind the glass, and he gives Tahoe a 2-1 lead. Back-to-back goals on the power play. .1 seconds left in the first period. Swick beats the buzzer with a little bit of time to spare. And the Night Monsters, more likely than not, are going to take a lead into the first period intermission. Face-off won by Utah on their own end. They'll just ramp it all the way back down. Paperny paddles it away, and that ends the first period. Well, Utah strikes first in the opening minute, but back-to-back power play goals from the captain, Luke Adam, and Trent Swick with 5 seconds left gives the Night Monsters a 2-1 lead, and they'll take 2 minutes and 46 seconds of power play time into the second period. Well, folks, we want to remind you that during this intermission, we'll take a commercial break, then we'll be back with the ECHL Plays of the Week, as well as our intermission interview for this Friday night. Kevin Wall, we asked him a trivia question that I'll go ahead and ask you guys before we answer it in the interview. We're celebrating the 1960 U.S. Olympic hockey team this weekend for Retro Weekend. They won the gold medal up here at Palisades in Lake Tahoe. But the question I want to ask all of you listening on Mixler, FloHockey, and YouTube, who was the last player cut from the gold medal winning team in 1960? Again, who was the last player cut from the 1960 U.S. Olympic hockey team that won gold up here at Palisades? If you're on Mixler, if you're on YouTube, drop it in the comments. We'll see how many of you got it right. If you've followed Olympic hockey, you probably know who this name is. We'll take a break. We'll be back with the answer in the interview. You're listening to Night Monsters Hockey on Mixler, and watching live on FloHockey.tv.
Performance dedication. For nearly 80 years, thermal technology has been the leader in high-temperature furnaces and hot press centering systems built right here in the USA. Our cutting-edge DCS and hot press technology powers industries from semiconductors to aerospace, medical, and top research labs. We're proud to be the only U.S. OEM for SPS and DCS systems, delivering unmatched precision and providing support for up to 20 years, twice the industry standard. Built with precision, engineered for excellence, thermal technology, the high-temperature experts. Fans, Lake Tahoe's South Shore isn't just a destination. It's a jaw-dropping, mind-blowing, awe-inducing experience. It leaves you happier, less stressed, and more connected to the world around you. This place is all sorts of awe and then some. And with the rules to lake by, you can help keep it that way. Just 5 simple rules to help keep Tahoe beautiful, clean, and safe for generations to come. It's connecting with nature and protecting it at the same time. Learn how you can help at visitlaketahoe.com/RTLB. That's visitlaketahoe.com/RTLB.
If you're injured in an accident, here are the things that matter. Who you hire to represent you matters.
Where they live may seem like it doesn't matter. It matters.
The Richard Harris Law Firm employs over 150 local people.
Trabajamos aquí.
We live right here. We know Nevada. We know the courts. And we know how to win.
If you're injured in an accident, who you hire to represent you matters. The Richard Harris Law Firm, 222-2222.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; AthleticNet, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to FloHockey.tv.
Go on, get a little out there, into the big heart of Nevada. 60 million acres of wide open public land for night monsters like you to explore. From sagebrush saloons to ghost towns, epic adventures are in store. Experience Nevada away from the neon lights. Take a dip in a natural hot spring where the temperature is just right. And gaze up at the darkest skies in star-studded delight. Explore the Silver State and plan your trip today at travelnevada.com. That's travelnevada.com. Hey Tahoe fans, don't miss your chance to bid on exclusive collectibles from the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Take your bid on game-worn jerseys from ECHL All-Stars, including Night Monsters forwards Devin Poliani and Sloan Stanek, as well as goal pucks from both teams. Visit mygrayauctions.com to get in on the action today. The auction closes on February 12th.
At GEHA, we stand behind our members because we are founded by members. So with 0 shareholders to mind, we keep our members in mind by offering a health plan for every stage of life. Plus hearing and fitness discounts. At GEHA, one thing is clear. Your health isn't our business, it's our purpose. That's why we've been trusted by millions of federal employees and retirees across the country since 1937. Visit GEHA.com to find your federal health plan.
Happy Friday, Night Monsters fans. Welcome back to the Intermission Report. We're joined alongside this edition's intermission interview with Night Monsters forward Kevin Wall. And Kevin, you have had an amazing impact on this team since you came back in Bloomington. Only one goal on the board on that game, but you had the assist on it. You scored in back-to-back games, including a 2-goal effort on Wednesday night. How has it felt to come back and just immediately make as big of a contribution as you have?
Yeah, it's been good. I think, it's great for the confidence. I didn't get a ton of time up in Springfield as I would have liked, but coming back and being able to step in and playing on the top line with Bales and Swick, it's been fun. The chemistry's there. And it's just good to play free hockey.
Talking about your time in Springfield a little bit, you mentioned maybe not as much time as you would have liked up there. What goes into the preparation, both on the physical side, staying in shape, and the mentality side of just keeping your sharp focus at all times to get back into the lineup? Because you never know when your name's going to be called.
Yeah, I think it's very easy to have a negative mindset when you're not playing and, wondering why you're not, and it's quick to blame others, but, that only leads to negative things. So you just got to try and stay positive, make sure your body's in shape for when your number gets called, and then just be ready to go. It's very few opportunities, so you just got to try and make the most of them.
You talked about your chemistry on the top line with Swick and Bailey, but a couple of new guys have come into the squad since you were here last in December. You got to play a couple games with Brendan Dowler and obviously Mike Van Oonen, who just came in, and the 2 new goaltenders, Jake Musatelli and Jack Bostedt. How has it been gelling with those guys so far?
It's been good. I think it's a true testament to the guys we have in the room. We try and make it a focus to make every new guy feel welcome and feel like they've been a part of the team since day one. And they've done a great job of coming in and stepping up. It's not easy, right? So I think they've done a great job. They're great guys, and yeah, it's been fun.
You've got a Utah team coming in tonight. You guys swept them in January last go around. They got the game on Wednesday night. It was a shootout in the high scoring department. What goes into the prep and making sure that the goals on the opposition side are limited?
Yeah, you tweak things within your own game. You tighten things up defensively. I think we allowed too many odd man rushes, and that's never a good thing, and that'll attest for 9 goals. So we left Paps out to dry. I know he feels like he let us down, but it shouldn't be that way. So we got to help him out more and get more pucks deep and get on the forecheck and ultimately just play our own game. We're a good team. Like you said, we swept them before, so it's nothing we haven't done before nor can't do. So I think we're all looking forward to it. Retro night, so it's going to be fun and hopefully a good crowd.
2 questions to close it off on the topic of Retro Weekend. First, I just got to ask you a little bit of a trivia question. It's one of my all-time favorites. So we're honoring the 1960 U.S. Olympic team that won gold here in Palisades. By any chance, do you know who the last player cut on that team was?
Unfortunately, no idea.
You might be surprised. The head coach of the 1980 team, Herb Brooks, was the last player cut from 19.
I should have known that. I've seen Miracle enough. That's on me.
And the final question I asked you in our Bally's pregame show, but for those who couldn't hear it in the arena, the Olympics opening ceremonies start today. Who are you looking for to win on the hockey side of things, take home the gold medal?
Yeah, obviously USA. We got a bunch of Canadians on this team, so it'll be nice to watch USA win.
That was Night Monsters forward Kevin Wall joining us on the Intermission Report. We'll be back with Retro Weekend Hockey after this.
From across America's premier AA hockey league, this is the ECHL Plays of the Week.
High slot, slap shot, off the glove, and now toward the net, he scores! Out to the blue line, shot, score! Rodney scores! It's rewrite the record book! It's a hat trick. He skates it over the line, digs, shoots, scores! In the slot, shot, save, game is over!
ECHL hockey fans, welcome back to this week's episode of Plays of the Week. I'm Casey Ditzel, your voice of the Greensboro Gargoyles, welcoming you as we walk across the league and highlight some of the best calls that we saw We start on the East Coast, and in the North Division as the Adirondack Thunder welcomed over 14,000 fans at home over the weekend and took 6 of 8 points to move into second place in the North Division. On Sunday, Chase McLean went right through the main defense and beat Luke Cavalin in a 6-3 win over the Mariners.
Singh gets to it. Good backhand to Reed. And now McLean. Give and go. McLean drags it. McLean scores! Chase McLean walks through the fence and gives the Thunder a 5-2 lead with 7:26 to go in the second.
That was Rob Lapolis on Hits 95.9 and the Thunder Broadcast Network. Now let's go down to the South Division with Mike Kelly. On Saturday, the Florida Everblades rebranded as the Las Tortugas and faced the Atlanta Gladiators in a showdown for first place in the South Division. In the second period, Florida defenseman Sean Allen stepped up to score the eventual game-winning goal in a 5-1 win.
Now to the blue line. Allen shoots. He scores! Sean Allen leans into that one. He yanked on the chain, and it's a cannon into the back of the net. 2-0 for the Las Tortugas.
Florida maintains the top spot in the South Division. That was Mike Kelly on the call on the Florida Everblades Broadcast Network. Now let's head to Savannah, where after being thrust into action the day before, Vinny Purpura got the start the next afternoon and made the save. Purpura would go 27 for 27 for his second professional shutout, and the Ghost Pirates would win 7-0 in Jacksonville.
Enough on it, as in with a shot, rebound in front. Oh, Purpura! Full extension, keeps it out. What a save by Vinny Purpura. Absolutely robbing Jacksonville. You got to look at the replay. Duhart had power play goal written all over it, and Purpura from the seat of his pants is able to slide over, and with a full reach of the glove, is able to stop it and cover it.
That was Isaac Basinger on the call on the Savannah Ghost Pirates Broadcast Network. The Atlanta Gladiators have been busy and on the longest road trip of their season. Isaac Walter scored the game-winning goal in overtime on Friday in a 5-4 comeback victory against the Florida Everblades.
Young pivots towards the goal, feeds it to Walter. Walter shoots, he scores! Isaac Walter calls game, and the Gladiators win an amazing game, 5-4.
That was Guy Carenza on the Atlanta Gladiators Broadcast Network. Now let's head all the way out to the Pacific time zone, where after a lopsided 6-0 loss against the Fort Wayne Comets on Saturday night, the Tahoe Night Monsters flipped the script in their Sunday afternoon showdown. With forward Blake Wells scoring the first goal for Tahoe, Connor Merritt got in on the action with his third goal of the season, giving Wells a 2-point period.
Right behind him, Blake Wells, the goal scorer, sends one through the neutral zone. He's got it in the slot, a save, rebound, they score! Wells shot for a rebound, and Connor Merritt has the goal. So this fourth line's got a pair of tallies in the opening period, and the Night Monsters lead 2-0.
The fourth forward line helped spring the Night Monsters to a 6-2 victory over the Comets, which helped snap a 4-game losing streak for Tahoe. After 3 weeks on the road and in 4 different cities, the Night Monsters are back home this week to take on Utah. That was Brennan Paul on the call for the Night Monsters Broadcast Network. Let's finish things off and bring it back home right here to Greensboro as the Gargoyles were on the road in Reading facing their newest rival, who they will see 12 times over the season. It was forward Blake Biondi, after being loaned from the AHL's Chicago Wolves, in his first game as a Gargoyle finding a breakaway pass and burying it home.
Hendren all alive. Biondi, one-on-one scores! Tied again, and it's Blake Biondi's first as a Gargoyle.
That was my call on the Greensboro Gargoyles radio network and the Carolina Hurricanes app. The Gargoyles are home for a 5-game stand, getting ready to take on a 3-game set against the Reading Royals. I'm Casey Ditzel, the voice of the Greensboro Gargoyles, thanking you for tuning in this week. We'll be back with another edition next week. Until then, have a good one and stay smiling, my friends.
Welcome back to Tahoe Blue Event Center. We got one smart viewing audience tonight. We were 2 for 2 on YouTube, 2 for 2 on Mixlr. The correct answer to a trivia question, you heard it obviously. Herb Brooks, famous head coach of the 1980 Olympic team, last player cut from the 1960 team. You probably, if you've seen Miracle, you probably already knew that. They only mention it a couple of times. I'd rate that question about a 4 out of 10 difficulty. My college roommate asked me one earlier this morning that I'll save for the second intermission. It may get a couple people. We'll take you quickly to the ECHL scoreboard. We'll look around the league and what's going on. In Trois-Rivières, Quebec, the Adirondack Thunder beat the Trois-Rivières Lions 5-3. Down in the South Division, it's the Savannah Ghost Pirates at home over the Florida Everblades 4-2. The Bloomington Bison, big road winners against the Kalamazoo Wings. They win 5-2. The Reading Royals also 5-2 winners on the road against the Greensboro Gargoyles. A final in a shootout. It is the ND Fuel beating the Wheeling Nailers 3-2. They win the extra point in the shootout. The Atlanta Gladiators beat the Jacksonville Icemen 4-3 in overtime. The Maine Mariners defeat the Orlando Solar Bears 6-3. The Cincinnati Cyclones beat the Toledo Walleye on the road 5-3. The Fort Wayne Comets at home, man, they are a wagon. They beat the Iowa Heartlanders 7-2. And then in the Mountain Division, Rapid City beats Wichita 3-2 on the road. Kansas City scores 2 goals in 8 seconds to come back in the third period and beat the Tulsa Oilers 3-2. The Allen Americans have now tied the Night Monsters in points as they beat the Norfolk Admirals 5-2. Only other game in action is tied 3-3 between Greenville and Idaho starting the third period. We're starting the second period here in State Line with a face-off win by the Grizzlies, still shorthanded. They fire one on Paperny, but it goes wide. Callan will collect 2:35 to go on the match penalty to Timofeyev. Tahoe re-enters the zone. Up to the point, Callan, and we're going to get a penalty as Gansky lost his stick. It'll be a slash, and I think that's going to wipe most of the rest of this power play off the board. It will indeed. And that's not a very uncharacteristic penalty for Luke Adam to take. If you can read lips, he's clearly not happy about it. But he'll go sit for 2 minutes for a slash. So we'll play 4-on-4 for the next 2 minutes. And Tahoe will still have 22 seconds on the back end. So a face-off to the right of Jordan Paperny. It'll be Bailey taking it the 4 out there. Bailey, Alger, Kapchek, and Wall. Great to hear from Kevin Wall. He was the lone one stumped on that Herb Brooks question. Alger from behind the net works it up the near left wing circle. Up ahead finds Wall. Too far, Antonacci intercepts. Lebster on the cusp of the Utah defensive zone. We'll play it back to Antonacci, and he'll just sit behind the net and wait for things to set up. This one intercepted by Tahoe. They work it back into their own end. Kapchek and Alger trade passes back and forth. Alger through the seams. Great connecting pass. A shot on by Bailey. Save made by Bassey. He'll keep it going. Wall does a nice job to keep it in. Curling, far circle, a shot, penalty, arm is up. It missed high. So it looks like the Night Monsters are going to go back to the man advantage as the arm is still up. And once Taylor clears his own, I imagine Pap will go to the bench, and he will indeed. O'Leary gains the blue, drops for Poliani. Sending it across, it's tipped by Friesen, and a penalty on Utah. So back to the power play goes Tahoe. John Gillette to the box. He gets 2 for a slash, so back-to-back slashes. And we'll play 4-on-3. So you want to talk about there being some room to work. Basically like overtime. 7 skaters out there for the next 52 seconds. And we'll see if they can get anything off it. It's a 4-on-3 power play. You don't see this too often, folks. Face-off won by Tahoe, near left side. Up top, Kapchek. A lot of open real estate. Kapchek, near side, finds Poliani. He'll work it up. Far side over to Swick. One-time blast. That one goes behind the net. And it works its way all the way back down. Paperny quickly steering it up ahead. Adam will be out of the box in 28 seconds. Poliani slows up, gets it to Kapchek. It was batted down. Friesen doing a nice job on that penalty kill to keep it out. He'll dump it back in. And now reloading. Kapchek. Poliani on the red line. Works towards center ice. Finds Kapchek again. Drops it off for O'Leary, who gets it back to Kapchek, around for Swick. On the circle. Up to Poliani. Tahoe back to full strength, 5-on-3. Poliani, a shot and a save by Bassi. We'll play 5-on-3 for another 17 seconds, and then it'll be a standard 5-on-4 for 46 seconds. That Arizona State quick math coming in handy there. Luke Adam will take the draw after getting out of the penalty box. Face-off won by the captain. Bailey cuts towards the high slot, over, finds Wall, sends it on. Bailey, a slapper, and he missed wide left. Callan will reload, finding Bailey again, dropping it low. Poliani up top. Callan. Paperny bangs the stick. 5-on-3, almost over. Callan across for Wall, looking for a lane. Adam scoops it in front, and Bassi covers it up. We're back to 5-on-4 for 40 seconds. Shots are 12-11, Tahoe. They lead 2-1. Riley Connors opened the scoring with his 8th of the year in the first minute. Tahoe responded, a power play goal from Luke Adam, a power play goal from Trent Swick. With 5 seconds left, that one came, by the way. Face-off tied up, far right wing. It'll be collected by the Grizzlies after it was tied up. Working it through the neutral zone is Lebster, finding Grattan near circle, backhand shot, and a save by Jordan Paperny. Getting a break there on the shorthanded opportunity where the Grizzlies, Pap standing tall. Ever since that first shot of the game, seems to have dialed himself in. Face-off won by Luke Adam. Drops it to Bailey, who swings it around for Callan. Adam back taps for Bailey, trying to enter the zone, does so. Still time, one more break on this power play. In behind the net, Bailey. Got double teamed. Bailey and Adam, former teammates in the Dell, top German league. Reunited here in Tahoe. This one spun down. Gillette out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. Wall gains the blue, drops it off. Pitters sends it across. It's deflected by the Grizzlies. LeBlanc comes away with the mix with the puck. He'll backhand it back in, and that puck was played with a high stick. No advantage given, so we get a whistle. Face-off to the right, far right face-off circle, left to Bassi. Grizzlies control, you have Dakamov. Up ahead, finds Geniev. He had it pickpocketed by Pitters. Pitters has an assist tonight. McGrew drops it behind, looking for Pitters. He was tied up with Hanson Bucata. Up to the right point, Maye. That one deflected on his wrist shot from the point. Pitters behind the net, near the far trapezoid. Grizzlies are going to work it out. Aiden Hanson Bucata, near side Geniev. In the circle, dropped it back, a little too fine as Pitters intercepts. It's a 3-on-2. Pitters has Derflinger. Derflinger looking, sends it across, and that one tipped out of the zone. Adams goal assisted by Kevin Wall and Nate Cowan. Trent Swick's goal assisted by Pauliani and Pitters. Riley Connors bats it over to Weinstein. Sage Weinstein on the far circle, sent it out in front, but it's picked off by Anthony Collins. Collins banks it off the boards for Swick. Swick backhanding it right out in front. And Coella getting testy in front of the net with Alger, who was trying to close in. Kapchek sends it across, and it'll be cleared out. He'll go for an icing. First one there is Kapchek. 14:44 to go here in our second period. Night Monsters enjoying a 1-goal lead. This season in 1-goal games, the Night Monsters are 8-8. So they're right on even par. When the game's been close, you know, those games can go either way. They're 1-2 in overtime and 1-2 in the shootout. We'll chat more about that if it gets to that point. This one will be sent ahead, deflected by someone on the Tahoe bench, and they finally blow it dead. Looks like we've got some retro music being played as well. Security guard on the screen there, giving you the Ferris Bueller's Day Off dance of Twist and Shout by the Beatles. Always a fun time on a weekend here in Tahoe. You never know what you're going to get. But we love to see dancing security guards. This one wrapped in behind the net of Paperny. Taylor to the near side for Luke Adam. Adam firing across, looking for Pauliani, but it goes too far. It's going to go for an icing. A lot of old school music on the docket tonight. I'm a big fan, gotta say. We heard Beach Boys, Beatles, and now Creedence Clearwater Revival. Pretty incredible lineup there of bands from about the 60s, so tying in a little more to the retro weekend theme. The draw controlled by the Night Monsters. Taylor up to Adam. He'll send it through neutral ice to Pauliani. In behind Boilard. Absorbs a hit from Devon. And sends it up far left wing for Grattan. Now Friesen trying to chip around Taylor. A little stutter step. Nate Cowan, the first one there. Again, Cowan played in his 200th ECHL game on Wednesday in Bloomington. And he has played in every game in Night Monsters history. Lebster wraps far side. Turnaround shot goes high over the right shoulder of Paperny. And Hanson Bucata can't keep it in. All 72 regular season last year, all 8 in the playoffs, and so far, all 45 here in season 2. Incredible Iron Man work ethic from Nate Cowan. Cowan's got it. He'll backhand it out of the zone. Sage Weinstein collects. That one skied into the air near section 105. It stays in play. Cowan delivers a big hit on Evdokimov, and now working in Swick. Swick, forehand, and he's stopped by Bassi on the try. Wall can't quite get to that one. He was held up by a couple sticks. LeBlanc is there. He gets it over to his defensive partner, Maye. LeBlanc feeds it through. Swick bats it down into the far corner for Wall. Weinstein beats him there, but funnels it over where Swick receives. Pitters, far circle, sending it across. LeBlanc fires one on, and an easy blocker save for Bassey. Turnover. Pitters tried to center it for LeBlanc again. It deflects into the air, controlled by Wall. LeBlanc looking for a tip, fired that one wide as it wraps around. Back up to the right point, Maillet. Maillet sends one back, Payne in the air. Grizzlies trying to clear the zone, they can't. Up to the right point, Maillet wrists one on, blocked in front by Weinstein. Maillet against Yevdokimov. He can't shake him. Tries to drop it on the backhand, but it's played out into the Tahoe defensive end. Wrapping around, it's going to go for an icing. So Grizzlies are going to gain themselves a offensive zone draw. By the way, another little stat, we're talking about their record in 1-goal games and OT and shootout and things of the sort. How about their record, Tahoe's record in specialty jerseys? 8-1. That spans 5 promotional nights, folks. Looking to make it 9-1 as Adam Pitters banks that one to McGrew. Far side stretch pass for Maillet out in front of him. It'll be taken away by Coella. Sent back around. Bassey in behind the net. Finds Gansky up ahead. Gillette. Schreifels turns and banks one back behind. Kapchek up ahead. Through the seams, it's intercepted by Utah. Salem keeps it in and goes off for a change. Coella, left point, Hanson Buchanan. That one goes behind the net. Tip in. Oh my, that was impressive. John Gillette on a knee. Got the bad bank from behind the net. And we are tied 2-2. So 11:16 to go, we're all even. 2 goals apiece as John Gillette stretches out and uses some acrobatics to find the back of the net. Dominic Bassey as play resumes, sends one far corner. Luke Adam is there. Banked ahead into the near side cross corner. O'Leary back behind. Wrapping it is Poliani and tried to fire one to Luke Adam in the air. He couldn't baseball bat it on target. Near side corner, a puck battle ensues. Poliani works free. He's got O'Leary in front of the net, but he got cut off with the angle, and now Lebster will take it the other way. 2-on-2 for Utah with Grattan. Grattan was trying to slow up. A little miscommunication there, so the Night Monsters are going to be able to gain possession again. It is short-lived as Geneyev intercepts, sends one high, shoulder save. Paperny kept in, left point. Boilar a shot, and Paperny swallows it up. Gillette, 8th goal of the year from Hanson Buchanan and Mikey Coella. It's 2-2 here in Tahoe. We'll be back after this.
At GEHA, we stand behind our members because we are founded by members. So with 0 shareholders to mind, we keep our members in mind by offering a health plan for every stage of life. Plus hearing and fitness discounts. At GEHA, one thing is clear. Your health isn't our business, it's our purpose. That's why we've been trusted by millions of federal employees and retirees across the country since 1937. Visit GEHA.com to find your federal health plan.
Welcome back to Tahoe Blue Event Center. It's 2-2 thanks to John Gillette. First goal of the second period, his 8th of the year, as we mentioned. I'm Brendan Paul, your voice of the Night Monsters. We've got a good one here on night one of Retro Weekend. Face-off one, into the near corner by LeBlanc. Tries to get it up to wall, intercepted. Gansky drops it down low. Yevdokimov wrapping for Geniev in front, loose, and Swick will play it out on a break. Swick maneuvers around one hit, taken down in the open ice was Wohl, and the other way on the near side, Yevdokimov dropping it off. Connors sends one around the net, and that one wraps all the way back down into the defensive end. Back behind, Boilar sending a stretch pass up to Connors. It was too far for him, intercepted for a moment, but Connors gets it back on the deflection, and then he'll send one high and wide over the net of Paperny. Alger lost his stick as he ties off Connors. Yevdokimov tried to go far side, but instead it'll be Kapchek finding Pitters. Knifing one through. Wells, first one there. He popped a tire, got back up. A puck battle is ensuing. Gillette gets it up ahead to Sean Kennedy. Kennedy, far circle, has a lane and fired one over the upper 90. A shot on, deflected in front. Paperny makes the save, wrap around. Chance Schreifels couldn't poke it home. Grizzlies send this one in the zone. Back behind the net, Alger has to bank it off the inboards. Kapchek sends it ahead to O'Leary. He'll fire one in all the way around. A big hit delivered by Collins and a couple of shoves after the fact against Schreifels. And he's still giving him some shoves. Anthony Collins heads to the bench with a couple of words for Omri Schreifels. As O'Leary brings it back up. Adam, far circle, cutting in, knifing. O'Leary, turnaround shot. That one's poked into the corner. Lebster back around. Paperny's got it. Taylor banks it for Bailey. He lost it. Adam comes in and gets it from right behind him. Cowan cuts in behind the net, looking for a receiver. Back up to the point. Swick with traffic behind him has to backhand funnel it through. A rebound, and that one kicks behind the net. Bailey on the half turn. Pauliani back to Bailey in front, jamming away are the Night Monsters, and they can't bury it on that try. And now Bassi makes the save and gets a whistle with 7:28 to go. We'll take another TV timeout, and we'll be back with more action in the second. We're tied 2-2.
Go on. Get a little out there into the big heart of Nevada. 60 million acres of wide open public land for night monsters like you to explore. From sagebrush saloons to ghost towns, epic adventures are in store. Experience Nevada away from the neon lights. Take a dip in a natural hot spring where the temperature is just right. And gaze up at the darkest skies in star-studded delight. Explore the Silver State and plan your trip today at travelnevada.com. That's travelnevada.com.
Pretty good one here on this Friday night. It is 2-2 between the Night Monsters and Grizzlies. 7:28 to go in the second period. Shots are 18-15 in favor of Tahoe. Now 19, they change it. I think they may be shortchanging Jordan Paperny a couple of saves, but we can cross that bridge later on down the line. Face off to the right of Bassi, attacking zone. Bailey takes the draw for Tahoe. Kevin Wall. Near side trapezoid. Punched off by Gansky. Sells that one a little bit. And rightfully no call. Swick up top. Loads one up. A shot tipped in front by Wall right into the breadbasket of Bassey and net. It'll be Wall, Swick, Bailey, Taylor, Callan. The Cali kids on defense. We mentioned Kalen Taylor from Oceanside and Nate Cowan from San Diego. Started the game with McGrew, who's from Orange, and Derflinger, who's from Walnut Creek. Now it's a 2-on-1. Gillette fires one on net, and it's wide. Paperny was tall to the task. Cowan back around for Taylor. Kennedy banks one behind the net. Casey Bailey has it tapped away for a moment by Coella. Now Gillette. This line out there for the Grizzlies tied the game just moments ago. Looking to give their squad the lead. Taylor cuts through the defensive zone, fires all the way through, icing beat out. Bailey out in front, tipped in front, scores! A lot of traffic in the mix, and coming through to save the day, Jake McGrew reclaims the lead for the good side. That was a dribbler that went right between Bassey's legs. Jake McGrew with goal number 12 on the year. And it's 3-2 Night Monsters. Night Monsters back on the attacking end. Derflinger tried to intercept. Pitters trying to bat it down with a stick and finally gets a hold of it in neutral ice. Backs it for Derflinger, who enters his own far right wing. Derf will wrap it around for LeBlanc. Back down low for McGrew. He already scored one, now fires for a second, and that one ramped up behind the net. This one wrapped around. It'll be controlled by the Grizzlies. Antonacci with possession. Can't get it out though. Good keep and pace by Derflinger. He'll send one into the corner. Luke Adam trying to give it a ride, but the Grizzlies are going to bank it out. Gratton on the half spin. Gets it. Far circle. Cutting in. Hold down from behind and got a little brute force as he ran into the boards. And we're going to get a penalty for a hook, and the Grizzlies are going to try and tie it up on the power play. .520 left. Yeah, we're going to keep it here while they take this TV timeout. We've had a few of them here in the last 5 minutes or so, so let's just keep her rolling. We're going to stay here. It'll be Maye to the box for the hook. 3-2. Tahoe leads. Grizzlies on the power play so far today are 0 for 2. They say Tahoe's 0 for 4. We know that is just not true at all. That's what the stat sheet has as of right now. Adam and Swick both scored on the man advantage, so they're 2 for 4. I'll give you that. McGrew, 12th of the year from Bailey and Derf. And that has reclaimed the lead for the home side here in this contest. It's been back and forth. As we mentioned in the intermission, Allen's win puts them in a tie for third in the division with 50 points. And remember, Allen does have a game in hand on the Night Monsters, meaning they've played one less. But if Tahoe can get the win here, they'll be back on track. As it'll be a near side draw. Connors wins it to Yevdokimov. Over to Salem. One-time blast. Gansky. Save made Paperny and cleared out by Mike O'Leary. .505 left in the middle frame. Connors cutting through. He'll drop it back. Gillette dropped to his feet. No call, though, as this one will be sent all the way back down. Luke Adam, by the way, is 150th career North American pro goal with that one across the NHL, AHL, and ECHL. Connors tried to keep the zone on the near side right point, but ended up ramping it into the bench. Luke Adam, 889 games as a pro as well. That's across all levels, NHL, AHL, ECHL, and it includes his time overseas in Germany, the Czech Republic, and Slovakia. That means if he plays in every game from here on out, he'll hit 900 in Kansas City on March 7th. A one-time blast from Lebster, and that one is covered up by Paperny. Face-off far right, roulette wheel face-off circle. One-time blast, Geniev, pad save by Pap. Swick with time will ramp it out. Just a minute left on the penalty kill for the Night Monsters. Back out to neutral ice. Reloading. Callan had a lane, but will just slow it down. Out to neutral ice, kills some time off, and then dump it back down. He'll go off for a change at the end of an extended shift. Across, Lebster. Feeds through, Geniev. On the circle, back up top, Hanson Bucata. Geniev taken down, a shot blocked by Lebster, looking for the rebound. It's back up top to Grattan. Tyler Grattan feeds across, left point, Geniev. Down the middle, Friesen. Tic-tac-toe, Lebster. Drops back, Hanson Bucata walks in, that one over the net. Lebster tries to drop it, Geniev's got it, back to Lebster. Just on the edge of the trapezoid. Far side, Geniev. Back down for Reed Lebster. Now Friesen. Back up top, Tahoe back to full strength. Not out of danger yet. Hanson Bucata, his shot saved by Paperny. Near side trapezoid, Geniev tried to center it on the backhand, but it's knocked down by Kevin Wall. Kevin Wall now lugging this one through center ice into the zone. Backhands one, Pitters knocks it down with his blockers and ramps it back for McGrew. McGrew with 2:50 left in the second period. This one goes across, it's tipped over the net. McGrew on the backhand as he was falling down, can't get it on target. Still in the zone for a moment before Hanson Bucata sends it down. It'll be back in the zone after the icing, 2:34 left in the second. Shots are 21-19 in favor of the Night Monsters. It'll be Adam Pitters to take the draw. He'll go up against Evan Friesen. Friesen had a goal last night on a tip in front for number 12. As that one turned by McGrew and fired on. Slow to get up was Derflinger, but he's up now. A scrum in the far trapezoid. Finally ends with it back up to the right point for Callan. Goes over to Taylor. Sends it top of the slot. McGrew cutting through around Friesen. Looking down the middle behind the net. He's got Bassey confused. Now back up top, Taylor. Down for McGrew, and now back for Pitters. Pitters, nice stick play, wraps it back in front. Save made Bassey, and now Derflinger getting into the mix. He's got Weinstein in a chokehold. Oh, they want to go. Linesman separating him. Minute 58 left. Derflinger not backing down. Crowd booing that they're not letting him go. Now Swick's tied up with Hanson Buchanan. This series has been pretty clean so far, and I think the officials are trying to keep it that way. Derflinger still jawing with Weinstein. Hanson Buchanan having to be separated as now O'Leary is into the mix. Everyone getting a little fiery. More phenomenal dance moves from our security guard in the crowd. I think we saw the lawnmower there at the end. Incredible, incredible stuff. No penalties come out of that, so a far right side face-off circle draw upcoming. It'll be Pauliani to take it. Far right wing controlled by the Night Monsters. O'Leary back up top, Alger with traffic in front, a shot scooped up by Bassey. .149 left here in the second. Tahoe with a lot of offensive zone time as of late, trying to double up the Grizzlies before heading into the locker room. Shots are 24-19 in favor of the Night Monsters. That one kept in by the Night Monsters. Shot through traffic. Pauliani had a tip for a minute. Now he's tied up. Boilard enters the mix. He's a tough customer. From his time in the Federal League, he was a big enforcer. Back when he was a member of the Binghamton Black Bears a couple of years ago. This is his third team in the ECHL. He's also previously played for Adirondack and Trois-Rivières. So getting his first taste of action here in the Mountain Division. Face-off looming again. Connors and Pauliani. One by Tahoe. Cap check, right point. Banks it back behind. Pauliani giving it chase. Banks it up to the left point for Alger. Swick giving a run at it. Back behind O'Leary. Being held up by Gansky. He's finally muscled down. Back behind the play, Utah works it out. Genev tried to go 1-on-2. Cap check. Too strong defensively. It'll be back for an icing the other way. So final minutes of this one slowing up a little bit here. 74 seconds left in the second. Face-off, far right side, the Caesars Republic roulette wheel face-off circle. It's won by Alger. Across the red line, he'll sky that one into the cross corner. Antonacci, the first one there. Back behind the net, and that one out of play. Less than a minute to go now. 58.6 left. It's another offensive zone draw for Tahoe. Utah controls. They'll bank it out of the zone. Maye holds it up at the red line. Banks it back for Luke Adam. Down beneath the goal line, Bailey. Tried to back chip it for Adam, but it's turned over by Lebster. Here come the Grizzlies. Lebster tries to cut through. Can't do so. Maye intercepts, tried to loft it ahead. It's batted down and kept in by Hanson Bucata. Friesen back behind. Wall couldn't tie him off. Still loose. Batting it out of the air is Bailey. Wall ramps it up. Bailey trying to get on the back end. He can't. Now Luke Adam. Now Bailey's got it. He'll chip it around for Wall. Wall sachets it over for Bailey and tries to send one in front. It goes behind the net. 9 seconds left. Maybe one more break for Utah. They'll just funnel one into the far corner. Gansky tied off by Cowan. Into the boards. Bailey's going to possess it easily. Wall gives a shoulder to Friesen, and that will end the second period of play. A little bit of a dust up there at the end, but it looks like cooler heads are going to prevail. And that'll do it. For period number 2, it's Tahoe 3, Utah 2. We told you we'd have a trivia question for you in the second intermission, and we've got one. A little harder, I will say. Ski mountaineering is a new Olympic sport to the Milan Olympics this year in 2026. So obviously the U.S. hasn't won a medal in it since they haven't played it in the Olympic field just yet. There is one other sport, winter Olympic sport, one other winter Olympic sport in which the U.S. has never won a medal in. Can you name it? Again, besides ski mountaineering, which obviously we know it's new this year, no medals won, but name the other winter Olympic sport that the United States has never won a medal in, gold, silver, or bronze, dating all the way back throughout time. There's only one answer. Do you have it? We'll get it for you on the back half of this intermission. We'll hit a commercial break, and then we'll take you back to the plays of the week and our intermission interview with Kevin Wall. If you missed it the first go-around, you're listening to Night Monsters Hockey on Mixlr and watching live on FloHockey.tv.
For nearly 80 years, thermal technology has been the leader in high-temperature furnaces and hot press centering systems built right here in the USA. Our cutting-edge DCS and hot press technology powers industries from semiconductors to aerospace, medical, and top research labs. We're proud to be the only U.S. OEM for SPS and DCS systems, delivering unmatched precision and providing support for up to 20 years, twice the industry standard. Built with precision, engineered for excellence, thermal technology, the high-temperature experts. Fans, Lake Tahoe's South Shore isn't just a destination. It's a jaw-dropping, mind-blowing, awe-inducing experience. It leaves you happier, less stressed, and more connected to the world around you. This place is all sorts of awe and then some. And with the rules to lake by, you can help keep it that way. Just 5 simple rules to help keep Tahoe beautiful, clean, and safe for generations to come. It's connecting with nature and protecting it at the same time. Learn how you can help it. Visit laketahoe.com/RTLB. That's visit laketahoe.com/RTLB.
If you're injured in an accident, here are the things that matter. Who you hire to represent you matters.
Where they live may seem like it doesn't matter, it matters.
The Richard Harris Law Firm employs over 150 local people.
Trabajamos aquí.
We live right here. We know Nevada. We know the courts. And we know how to win.
If you're injured in an accident, who you hire to represent you matters. The Richard Harris Law Firm, 222-2222.
Tonight's game is brought to you by the ECHL, celebrating its 38th season of affordable family entertainment. The ECHL would like to recognize the following league sponsors: AMI Graphics, exclusive signage provider; AthleticNet, official jersey supplier; Baron Rings, official championship ring supplier; BFL Canada Insurance and Sutton Special Risk, sponsors of the 2026 ECHL Hall of Fame induction ceremony; Dash, official mobile auction platform; The Fairley Group, official commercial insurance provider; Flow Sports, exclusive streaming provider; Hotel Planner, official hotel reservations partner; Howie's Hockey Tape, exclusive hockey tape and lace provider; In Glasgow, exclusive puck provider; Prolific One, exclusive secondary ticketing partner; and Warrior, exclusive on-ice equipment provider and title sponsor of the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Catch all of the ECHL action live in high definition by logging on to FloHockey.tv.
Go on. Get a little out there. Into the big heart of Nevada. 60 million acres of wide open public land for night monsters like you to explore. From sagebrush saloons to ghost towns, epic adventures are in store. Experience Nevada away from the neon lights. Take a dip in a natural hot spring where the temperature is just right. And gaze up at the darkest skies in star-studded delight. Explore the Silver State and plan your trip today at travelnevada.com. That's travelnevada.com. Hey Tahoe fans, don't miss your chance to bid on exclusive collectibles from the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Take your bid on game-worn jerseys from ECHL All-Stars, including Night Monsters forwards Devin Poliani and Sloan Stanek, as well as goal pucks from both teams. Visit mygrayauctions.com to get in on the action today. The auction closes on February 12th.
At GEHA, we stand behind our members because we are founded by members. So with zero shareholders to mind, we keep our members in mind by offering a health plan for every stage of life. Plus hearing and fitness discounts. At GEHA, one thing is clear. Your health isn't our business, it's our purpose. That's why we've been trusted by millions of federal employees and retirees across the country since 1937. Visit GEHA.com to find your federal health plan.
Happy Friday, Night Monsters fans. Welcome back to the Intermission Report. We're joined alongside this edition's intermission interview with Night Monsters forward Kevin Wall. And Kevin, you have had an amazing impact on this team since you came back in Bloomington. Only one goal on the board on that game, but you had the assist on it. You scored in back-to-back games, including a 2-goal effort on Wednesday night. How has it felt to come back and just immediately make as big of a contribution as you have?
Yeah, it's been good. I think, it's great for the confidence. I didn't get a ton of time up in Springfield as I would have liked, but coming back and being able to step in and playing on the top line with Bales and Swick, it's been fun. The chemistry's there. And it's just good to play and play free hockey.
Talking about your time in Springfield a little bit, you mentioned maybe not as much time as you would have liked up there. What goes into the preparation, both on the physical side, staying in shape, and the mentality side of just keeping your sharp focus at all times to get back into the lineup? Because you never know when your name's going to be called.
Yeah, I think it's very easy to have a negative mindset when you're not playing and, wondering why you're not, and it's quick to blame others, but, that only leads to negative things. So you just got to try and stay positive, make sure your body's in shape for when your number gets called, and then just be ready to go. It's very few opportunities, so you just got to try and make the most of them.
You talked about your chemistry on the top line with Swick and Bailey, but a couple of new guys have come into the squad since you were here last in December. You got to play a couple games with Brendan Dowler and obviously Mike Van Oonen, who just came in, and the two new goaltenders, Jake Musatelli and Jack Bostet. How has it been gelling with those guys so far?
It's been good. I think it's a true testament to the guys we have in the room. We try and make it a focus to make every new guy feel welcome and feel like they've been a part of the team since day one. And they've done a great job of coming in and stepping up. It's not easy, right? So I think they've done a great job. They're great guys, and yeah, it's been fun.
You've got a Utah team coming in tonight. You guys swept them in January last go around. They got the game on Wednesday night. It was a shootout in the high scoring department. What goes into the prep and making sure that the goals on the opposition side are limited?
Yeah, you tweak things within your own game. You know, you tighten things up defensively. I think we allowed too many odd man rushes, and that's never a good thing, and that'll attest for 9 goals. So we left Paps out to dry. I know he feels like he let us down, but it shouldn't be that way. So we got to help him out more and get more pucks deep and get on the forecheck and ultimately just play our own game. We're a good team. Like you said, we swept them before, so it's nothing we haven't done before nor can't do. So I think we're all looking forward to it. Retro night, so it's going to be fun and hopefully a good crowd.
2 questions to close it off on the topic of Retro Weekend. First, I just got to ask you a little bit of a trivia question. It's one of my all-time favorites. So we're honoring the 1960 U.S. Olympic team that won gold here in Palisades. By any chance, do you know who the last player cut on that team was?
Unfortunately, no idea.
You might be surprised. The head coach of the 1980 team, Herb Brooks, was the last player cut from 19.
I should have known that. I've seen Miracle enough. That's on me.
And the final question I asked you in our Bally's pregame show, but for those who couldn't hear it in the arena, the Olympics opening ceremonies start today. Who are you looking for to win on the hockey side of things, take home the gold medal?
Yeah, obviously USA. You know, we got a bunch of Canadians on this team, so it'll be nice to watch USA win.
That was Night Monsters forward Kevin Wall joining us on the Intermission Report. We'll be back with Retro Weekend Hockey after this.
From across America's premier AA hockey league, this is the ECHL Plays of the Week.
High slot, slap shot, off the glove, and now for the net, he scores! Onto the blue line, shot, score! Rodney scores! Let's rewrite the record book! It's a hat trick. He skates it over the line, Deeks shoots, in the slot, shot, save, game is over!
ECHL hockey fans, welcome back to this week's episode of Plays of the Week. I'm Casey Ditzel, your voice of the Greensboro Gargoyles, welcoming you as we walk across the league and highlight some of the best calls that we saw. We start on the East Coast, and in the North Division as the Adirondack Thunder welcomed over 14,000 fans at home over the weekend and took 6 of 8 points to move into second place in the North Division. On Sunday, Chase McLean went right through the main defense and beat Luke Cavalin in a 6-3 win over the Mariners.
Singh gets to it. Good backhand to Reed. And now McLean. Give and go. McLean drags it. McLean scores! Chase McLean walks through the fence and gives the Thunder a 5-2 lead with 7:26 to go in the second.
That was Rob Lapolis on Hits 95.9 and the Thunder Broadcast Network. Now let's go down to the South Division with Mike Kelly. On Saturday, the Florida Everblades rebranded as the Las Tortugas and faced the Atlanta Gladiators in a showdown for first place in the South Division. In the second period, Florida defenseman Sean Allen stepped up to score the eventual game-winning goal in a 5-1 win.
Now to the blue line, Allen shoots, he scores! Sean Allen leans into that one, he yanked on the chain, and it's a cannon into the back of the net. 2-0 for the Las Tortugas.
Florida maintains the top spot in the South Division. That was Mike Kelly on the call on the Florida Everblades Broadcast Network. Now let's head to Savannah, where after being thrust into action the day before, Vinny Purpura got the start the next afternoon and made the save. Purpura would go 27 for 27 for his second professional shutout, and the Ghost Pirates would win 7-0 in Jacksonville.
Enough on it, as in with a shot, rebound in front. Oh, Purpura! Full extension, keeps it out. What a save by Vinny Purpura. Absolutely robbing Jacksonville. You got to look at the replay. Duhart had power play goal written all over it, and Pepera from the seat of his pants is able to slide over, and with a full reach of the glove, is able to stop it and cover it.
That was Isaac Basinger on the call on the Savannah Ghost Pirates broadcast network. The Atlanta Gladiators have been busy and on the longest road trip of their season. Isaac Walter scored the game-winning goal in overtime on Friday in a 5-4 comeback victory against the Florida Everblades.
Young pivots towards the goal, feeds it to Walter. Walter shoots, he scores! Isaac Walter calls game, and the Gladiators win an amazing game, 5-4.
That was Guy Carenza on the Atlanta Gladiators broadcast network. Now let's head all the way out to the Pacific time zone, where after a lopsided 6-0 loss against the Fort Wayne Comets on Saturday night, the Tahoe Night Monsters flipped the script in their Sunday afternoon showdown. With forward Blake Wells scoring the first goal for Tahoe, Connor Merritt got in on the action with his third goal of the season, giving Wells a 2-point period.
Right behind him, Blake Wells, the goal scorer, sends one through the neutral zone. He's got it in the slot, a save, rebound, they score! Wells shot for a rebound, and Connor Merritt has the goal. So this fourth line's got a pair of tallies in the opening period, and the Night Monsters lead 2-0.
The fourth forward line helped spring the Night Monsters to a 6-2 victory over the Comets, which helped snap a 4-game losing streak for Tahoe. After 3 weeks on the road and in 4 different cities, the Night Monsters are back home this week to take on Utah. That was Brennan Paul on the call for the Night Monsters broadcast network. Let's finish things off and bring it back home right here to Greensboro as the Gargoyles were on the road in Reading facing their newest rival, who they will see 12 times over the season. It was forward Blake Biondi, after being loaned from the AHL's Chicago Wolves, in his first game as a Gargoyle, finding a breakaway pass and burying it home.
Hendren all alive, Biondi, one-on-one scores! Tied again, and it's Blake Biondi's first as a Gargoyle.
That was my call on the Greensboro Gargoyles radio network and the Carolina Hurricanes app. The Gargoyles are home for a 5-game stand, getting ready to take on a 3-game set against the Reading Royals. I'm Casey Ditzel, the voice of the Greensboro Gargoyles, thanking you for tuning in this week. We'll be back with another edition next week. Until then, have a good one and stay smiling, my friends.
Hello and welcome back as we get ready for the third and final period here on this Friday night. We're over 4,000 here in Tahoe. I've really showed up and shown out here for first night of a retro weekend. Welcome back in the booth, everybody. I'm Brendan Paul, your voice of the Night Monsters. 2 goals in the second period, 1 aside. John Gillette for Utah tied it up with his 8th of the year, and then Jake McGrew off a feed from Casey Bailey, and Jake Derflinger made it 3-2. That gave Tahoe the 3-2 lead that they now take into this third period. The only game we really didn't get a final on earlier in the scoreboard update was that the Greenville Swamp Rabbits have defeated the Idaho Steelheads 5-4 in overtime. Now, that does still mean that Idaho picks up a point, and they'll now improve to 62 on the year. But Tahoe a chance to slowly get back in there. They get 2 tonight. That's a +1 edge. And after 2 games in Rapid City next week, the Night Monsters and Steelheads will face off. So you never know what can happen. That's a big 6-point swing that is open for the taking in that series. But for right now, the matter at the front of the mind is finishing off this one on this Friday night. Night Monsters will move from left to right. Utah from right to left. We've had a much more level scoring presence on both sides. We haven't seen the 15-goal explosion we saw on Wednesday. We've got 5 so far through 2 periods. Now, there's still time for that to happen here in the third, but, well, let's just let it play out. Pitters will take the draw. Third line started for Tahoe. Pitters, Durf, and McGrew. It'll be chipped back behind the Tahoe net. Callan, first one there to play it. The California line, minus Pitters from Michigan, out there. Derflinger giving chase against Gansky. He wheels around the net. Noah Gansky lofts one far side. Lebster couldn't drag it down. That one will go for an icing, as Lebster couldn't bat it out of the air. By the way, the answer to that trivia question, I didn't see anyone get it. Only sport besides ski mountaineering that the U.S. has not won a gold medal in is the biathlon. The biathlon is the only other sport in the Winter Olympics the U.S. has failed to medal in. Their best finish in the history of that event is 7th. Far side roulette wheel draw. Bailey wins it back for Swick. He'll send it in front. Bailey on the tip. Couldn't finish it off. Great pass from Swick. Bailey would love to get on the board. He's been snake bit on some really good opportunities as of late. Maye takes it around. He's knocked down. So is Antonacci. And that puck banks still into the Tahoe attacking zone, but it'll finally be worked down. A shot on, a save made by Paperny. He's now faced 20 shots tonight, back up to a 90% save clip. That one blocked down in front. Maybe they give him the 20th, I don't know. There they go, they gave it to him. Swick in his own defensive end, drops for Alger. Lyndon Alger fakes the drop back and now wheels it up ahead. Alger muscling around, gets Hanson Buchanan, sends that one in front, and Dominic Bassi, what a play with the stick. Just kind of gave it the old bicycle flip behind his head. Antonacci trying to play it out, finds Geniev with Connors. It's poked back out to neutral ice. Pauliani can't control that one, so we are back in to neutral ice with Luke Adam. Pauliani's got it. Waits. Can't get the shot off. Adam tries to turn it in front, but he can't get it off either. Great traffic created in front of the net by the Grizzlies. Bassi has it intercepted. Wells looking for someone in front. No one home, so it goes to the left point for LeBlanc. He'll keep the line. Near trapezoid, Wells sending it out in front. Collins looking for the one-timer, but it was tipped and exits. Weinstein up to Gillette. Weinstein, rather, my apologies. Has it intercepted by Bailey. Collins now sends it ahead to Swick. He'll golf it over the head of Bassi. Colella back behind. Paperny has it behind him. He'll just let it go for Kapchek. Kapchek had it banked back towards him, so now it'll have to exit. Swick up ahead, Alger. Knifing around, looking for Pauliani. Through neutral ice, through the seams, Lebster giving it chase, Kapchek. And a icing at the last second. Maybe another beat or two, and Lebster might have beat him, but Kapchek does a nice job to hold his own. Official attendance tonight here at Tahoe Blue, 4,001 for an arena that only holds 4,203, just 202 shy of a sellout. Kevin Wall keeps this one in the zone. walking down the near circle. Wraps behind the net. Turns and fires. He scores! That intermission luck continues. Kevin Wall, 3 straight games with a goal. Tahoe leads by 2. Wall continues to produce at a point per game. 26 points now in 26 games. With his 12th goal of the season, that's 3 guys who have reached the dozen mark tonight. 4-2, Tahoe leads. Geneyev back the other way, gets around Maye. Tries to center it back out in front. Gets tied off and pinched into the corner by LeBlanc. So Wall gets the goal. And Bailey gets the lone assist. So Casey Bailey's got a 2-point game. Both in the assist column, but he'll take it. Face-off won by the Night Monsters. Back in their own end, played ahead, a chance, Pitters in, save made by Bassey. Adam Pitters nearly made it 5-2. That one sent all the way on the bench. Tahoe calling for a delay of game. Will they get one? It doesn't look like it. Coach Lowe not happy. He's at the front of the bench looking for an explanation. I think Luke Adam and Devin Poliani are going to give him a little bit of an argument as well. But it's going to stay 5-on-5. One could have gone either way. As Tahoe leads 4-2. Poliani takes it with Adam and O'Leary. Face-off won by the Night Monsters. Adam, back tap. Poliani drops for O'Leary. Far trapezoid working in. Down the middle looking for Adam. That one was tipped in front. Cap check. Wrists one on. It goes wide right. Maybe looking for a deflection. As O'Leary goes far side. Tried to spin it back in front for Devin Poliani. And that one stays out. It's 4-2. Night Monsters trying to get win number 24 on the season. Poliani ahead, tried to find Swick, just chips it in deep. Weinstein is the first one there. Ends, plays it up for Lebster. Right wing side, enters the zone, wraps around. Grattan cutting in. He'll spin it around the boards as well. Swick up ahead for Bailey. Top line out there. Drops for Wall. Back for Bailey. Tried to send it in front for Callan, and he got tied up. Callan back over. Bailey, one-time blast. Blocked in front by Friesen. He is hobbling up the ice, and now he will go off for a change. Friesen looks really banged up on that one. .14:30 left in the hockey game. Chipped ahead. Derflinger back down below the goal line. Bassey leaves for Yevdokimov. Yaroslav Yevdokimov, cross ice, sends to Connors, who gets a shot on goal. Paperny makes the save. He'll wrap it around Connors. Back to the right point, Gansky. All the way down, Geneyev. Has it intercepted by LeBlanc. He has played a great game defensively in his first game back since January 4th. That one will go for an icing. 14 minutes, 1 second left in the third period. Shots are 29-20 in favor of the Night Monsters. The last time they won a shot battle in a series, we'll touch on it later as the Night Monsters bring it up and they'll dump it back in. They won 2 out of 3 against Tulsa in late November after a stat change. They also won 2 out of 3 against Rapid City. Those are the only times on record. Wall back over for Alger. Kapchek ahead, chipped in by Collins. Wells fighting around. Hanson Buchanan jams him into the boards. Hanson Buchanan goes down. He gets a crowd eruption. Left point, fired one on. That was Taylor and a save made. Collins and Hanson Buchanan shoving back and forth. And the crowd booing, not because of what Anthony Collins has done, but because Hanson Buchanan would not accept the challenge. We'll take a TV timeout. We'll be back on the other side. Tahoe leads 4-2.
Hey Tahoe fans, don't miss your chance to bid on exclusive collectibles from the 2026 ECHL All-Star Classic. Take your bid on game-worn jerseys from ECHL All-Stars, including Night Monsters forwards Devin Poliani and Sloan Stanek, as well as goal pucks from both teams. Visit mygrayauctions.com to get in on the action today. The auction closes on February 12th.
Everyone going tarps off here in Tahoe as we are back from the TV timeout. 4-2, Night Monsters lead, and we may be seeing a fan ejection here. That would be unfortunate. They have gotten that section riled up all night. Face-off one to Taylor. He'll fire one on. It's blocked by Bassie. Far side Adam. Pinning ends to the boards. A battle ensues. It comes to the near side for Callan. He'll fire one on. Bassie makes the save. Tried to cover it, but couldn't swallow it up with the glove. That one fed through. Taylor bats it down. He'll bank it up ahead. Luke Adam. Through the neutral ice. Fires one far side, and that one trickles wide to the right pad of Bassie. Maye tried to chip for Poliani, but that one's too far. It'll go for an icing. 12:33 left in our hockey game. It'll be a face-off to the far dot. Connors, you have Dokimov, Gansky, Salem, Geneyev. This is a group you want out there if you're Utah. Try and get back in this one. Poliani out there with O'Leary, Swick, LeBlanc, and Callan. O'Leary will step in and take the face-off. Utah wins cleanly. Gansky drops it back. Geneyev, pad save Paperny. Swick up the near boards. Cuts around Gansky, and he's offside at the line. Crowd not too thrilled with that one. Swick still trying to chat with Austin Bove. Man, down there in the area of section 104, they're having a heck of a time. That's where the dancing security guard is. Mike Ruzioni over there was dancing earlier, a guy in a Mike Ruzioni jersey, and they built a beer can pyramid that has since been taken down, but it was up to over 35 cans at one point. Alger sends it along, near side, Bailey. Up to the right point, Kapchek fires one on, he scores! Oh, they wave it off. They wave it off. They wave it off. No goal, they wave it off. Bailey is having to be restrained. Bassey was taken down. They wave it off. They put it on the board in the arena and they take it off. Bailey goes to the box. Let's see the replay. It would have been a goal for Kapchek. That would have been awesome for Cappy, a hometown hero or a local fan favorite hero. Bailey still not happy. And you can hear what the fans here think about it. So that goal wiped off the board from Kapchek. Would have been his second of the year. Instead, it's a potential for a 2-goal swing. Would have been 5-2, but if Utah scores on the power play, it might be 4-3. I'm assuming it's going to be goaltender interference. With 12:07 left in the game, it's 4-2 Tahoe. Defensive zone draw collected by the Night Monsters and worked all the way out. They got him for charging. Wow, on the goaltender. Pretty interesting. You don't see that one too often, but nonetheless, it is a penalty kill. The Night Monsters have been perfect so far. They're 3 for 3. Utah's 0 for 3 on the power play. We've got top unit out there for both sides. Friesen, Geneyev, Grattan, Lebster, Hanson Bucata out there for the Grizzlies. They take control. Hanson Bucata drops down for Geneyev, far circle. Minute and a half left on the PK. Geneyev looks for an option, far side. Lebster fires one on Paperny, an easy save. Shots are 31-23. Night Monsters lead in both shots and goals. That one sent all the way down by Tahoe. Bassey's got it. He'll loft it near side. Pauliani trying to keep it in. He'll send it back in at the Utah bench. Hanson Bucata's going to springboard this power play attempt for Utah. He'll drop it to Grattan, who sends it back to Geneyev. He's the catalyst. He's the motor. Down nearly beneath the goal line, near left side. Lebster cuts around. It's taken away. Whoa, all alone on a breakaway. Poked away by Bassey. And Swick got hit up high on the follow-up chance. Lowe standing on the bench wants a penalty. Back out in front, a feet for Grattan and a save for Jordan Paperny. 27 seconds left on the PK. Luke Adam and Alex Lowe are both not happy, and I don't blame them. I think there should have been something up high on Swick. He tried to bat it out of the air, yep, and there you see Alex Lowe giving him the stick bat. But it will stay 5-on-4. Won't go to 4-on-4 as Tahoe just 27 seconds away from getting back even. We'll have a redrop here after a little bit of holdup. Fans, remember our next Night Monsters broadcast tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Night Monsters and Grizzlies wrap up this series and wrap up Retro Weekend. Connors keeps it in the zone. Sends it back out front. You have Dakamov. Pokes it back to Gansky at the left point. He'll send it across. Connors looking for his second of the game. Fires one wide. Gansky, left point. Drops. You have Dakamov for Salem. Bailey out of the box. Tahoe kills another one, and he's got a break through the zone. Bailey all alone. Oh, he lost the puck. He overskated it, and now Utah the other way. Connors feeds one through. It's tipped by Bailey, and now maybe another one. Pitters back for Bailey. He'll fire one on. Bassey makes the save from distance. Bailey lost it. Man, that's 3 breakaways the Night Monsters have been unable to bury. They still lead by a pair. McGrew sauces one into the zone. Colby Enns plays it up for Schreifels. Tried to back tap it for Kennedy. It went too far, so Salem's got it. Alger wins the battle of the sevens on the race of the icing. Alger beats Schreifels. Offensive zone draw coming with 9:18 left. 9-1-8, the area code of my hometown, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Pretty funny to see. Far side circle. Pitters will take the draw against Kennedy. Sean Kennedy, a former Tulsa Oiler, played 1 game for them. That one sent wide. Derflinger trying to muscle against Coella on the near dasher. In beneath the goal line, Coella takes it up far side. He is really wheeling and dealing on the right wing. Now taken away, bringing it up, delayed 2-on-2. Pitters will just opt to drop that one in the zone and go off for a line change. You don't want to take any chances and maybe force a break the other way. Back behind, Paperny. Up ahead for Maye. In neutralized wall, back tap. Bailey trying to get in past the defense, went too far. Bailey gets it up to Maye, who was double teamed at the point. Grattan hauled down. There's going to be a penalty. Alex Lowe cannot believe it. Boy, I don't think I've seen Coach Lowe this animated in quite some time, but we'll hit a TV timeout. We'll be back on the other side. Tahoe leads 4-2. Utah back on the man advantage.
Innovation, performance, dedication. For nearly 80 years, thermal technology has been the leader in high-temperature furnaces and hot press centering systems built right here in the USA. Our cutting-edge DCS and hot press technology powers industries from semiconductors to aerospace, medical, and top research labs. We're proud to be the only U.S. OEM for SPS and DCS systems, delivering unmatched precision and providing support for up to 20 years, twice the industry standard. Built with precision, engineered for excellence, thermal technology, the high-temperature experts.
Fans, while we have the moment, we want to remind you that the next broadcast of Night Monsters Hockey comes to you live from State Line tomorrow night, February 7th, as the Night Monsters and Grizzlies finish off this 3-game set. If this holds, it'll be for the series win. It's also the last time Utah will play here, barring an incredible rise up the standings from the Grizzlies and a first-round playoff matchup. Highly unlikely at this juncture of the season, but you never know. Pregame live at 6:50 p.m. Pacific time. Puck drop at 7 p.m. We close out Retro Weekend. It's been a good start. So Samuel Maye back to the box, 2 for a trip. And Hanson Buchanan will load it back up. He'll drop it back, of course. Geneyev. Bailey almost intercepted it. I mean, you can only do it so many times before the other team starts to pick up on it. Geneyev had it poked away by Bailey. Hanson Buchanan scoops in and grabs it. Gains the blue line, far side. Sends it across, tipped away by Swick. Looking for an advantage, will just send it on. Bassey has to make a save from over 100 feet. Webster drops for Hanson Buchanan. Friesen back chip, Geneyev. Surprise, surprise. Friesen back in the zone. He'll bang it around Geneyev. Back for Grattan, that one exits the zone. Hanson Buchanan feeds it up for Webster. Reed Webster around two. That one sent all the way back down again. Bassey stops the puck to his right. There's 37 seconds left in the minor penalty to Maye. Tahoe trying to stay perfect on the PK. They're 0 for 4. They're 4 for 4, looking to go 5 for 5. Across, Kevin Wall on the far side. Dasher backhands it out of the zone. One more break as Bassey couldn't quite slow it. Connors is back. He will. And this will be the last break. 10 seconds left. 6:35 left in the game. Shot high. Helmet saved by Paperny. That one's going to trickle all the way out. Tahoe is 5 for 5 on the penalty kill. Wall giving chase on the forecheck against Salem. Shoves him behind the goal line. McGrew coming in to help. It'll be Salem who gets it out. Utah had numbers the other way. They opt to not use them. Yevdokimov will chase it in deep. He can't get there. He's tied off by Alger. Back up left point. Boilar sends one on. That one caught a deflection in front and stays wide. Weinstein too far. As it goes all the way back around, that one will be sent for an icing. 5:51 to go in our hockey game, as we look to finish this one off with a victory. Defensive zone draw won by the Night Monsters. They'll loft it out. Weinstein with a skate kick, or else McGrew had a breakaway. Sending that one down. Schreifels was trying to get in there on the far side half wall. Battling for it are the Night Monsters, but the Grizzlies keep it in. McGrew lofting one out to neutralize Weinstein, gloves it down. Around the end wall it goes. Weinstein going off for a change. Antonacci lost it. It'll go to the neutral zone. Flying one back in, and now back out the neutral ice for Tyler Grattan. He'll spring it ahead for Antonacci. Sends one on. Pad kick by Paperny. In the corner. This puck being battled out. Keeping it in, Grattan beneath the goal line, trying to center it for Friesen. Goes up top, Antonacci tipped in front, they score. And hold on a minute, folks. We've got a one-goal game on the back end. It's another one of those tip-in goals for Evan Friesen. He had one on Wednesday, and he's got another one now. It's 4-3. So now it tenses up a little bit. A one-goal game, less than 5 to play. We'll see how this one progresses. At center ice, Utah controls. Geneyev, far side, intercepted Swick. They'll just softly dump it into the defensive end. As Salem back behind plays it up for Geneyev. That one goes right in front of the Utah bench. Back across, Trent Swick. Lost it, trying to go between the legs. Enters the zone. Wrists one on, and Paperny makes the save. We're going to get a TV timeout. 4:19 to go. We'll take you all the way to the finish line here on Retro Weekend. Night Monsters clinging to a 1-goal lead.
Hired to represent you matters.
Where they live may seem like it doesn't matter, it matters.
The Richard Harris Law Firm employs over 150 local people.
Trabajamos aquí.
We live right here. We know Nevada. We know the courts. And we know how to win.
If you're injured in an accident, who you hire to represent you matters. The Richard Harris Law Firm, 222-2222.
We welcome you back to Tahoe Blue Event Center. We're in for a Friday night thriller. Good finish in store. Shots 29-32, or 32-29 if you want to look at it the other way. Tahoe leads in the shot department and in the game. They lead 4-3. I'm Brendan Paul, your voice of the Night Monsters. And this has been a good one. Tahoe hoping it is a gold medal kind of night. As O'Leary in the far dot. Loses the draw. Geneyev wraps it around. Yevdokimov will give it chase in the corner. He'll send it right back from where it came. Salem. Cycle motion. Yevdokimov spinning around. Back between. They score. And we are tied with 4:03 to go. It was Riley Connors with his second goal of the night. Back-to-back games with multi-goals. For Connors, it's 4-4 with 4:03 left. And we may be headed for a good finish in OT if it holds up right now. Neutral ice draw won by Tahoe. Antonacci and Grattan get the assists on the Friesen goal. As this crowd is trying to hype their guys up after they surrender a 2-goal lead. McGrew cuts in, lost the puck. Weinstein's got it back behind. Derflinger sends it out in front, centering pass, looking for Poliani. That one is intercepted by Schreifels. All the way back down, Coella giving chase for Utah. In behind, Schreifels takes a big hit from Lyndon Alger. Taylor through neutral ice. Check that, Pitters drops it. Derflinger tried to center it in front, and Kapchek was in the midst of a change. Antonacci the other way. He gets leveled by Trent Swick, and there's going to be a penalty. Hanson Buchanan comes in as Antonacci is slow to get up. That is not what the doctor had in order, and at this point you're hoping that Hanson Buchanan does something foolish and picks up one on the back end to even it up at 4 aside, but doesn't look like he will. Night Monsters are 5 for 5 on the kill. They're going to need to stay perfect if they want to keep this game tied. Swick will sit and anticipate as he tries to demonstrate what happened. But nonetheless, it's going to be 2. These Tahoe fans not very happy with the officiating. Neither are the Tahoe players. I don't blame them. It's been a little dicey as of late. Connors is second of the game, assisted by Yevdokimov and Salem. So Yaroslav Yevdokimov, in just his third ECHL game of the year, with his second different teams, got 2 points in 2 games for the Grizzlies. And now we see Alex Lowe having a very intense conversation with Grant Hendrick, our referee. So this is a big one, folks. A big kill looming. Swick, 2 for boarding. 3:03 left. 2 minutes shorthanded. Shots are 32-30 in favor of Tahoe. It's 4-4. Well, let's see. It'll be top line for Utah. Lebster, Hanson Bucata, Genevieve, Friesen, Grattan, Bailey out there with LeBlanc, Maye, and it looks like maybe Kevin Wall. Defensive zone draw, big one. Won by the Night Monsters, but not out. Kept in. Far side, Friesen over Genevieve, tip in front. Paperny got enough of it to keep it out. That one lofted out. Here comes Wall. Wall cutting in, sends one. Tripping up was Bailey. He loses it, and now a 3-on-2 for Utah. Lebster over Genevieve. Wall retreats back, so it's just 5-on-4 now. Genevieve sends one. Left point. Lebster picks his corner and scores. The Utah Grizzlies with 3 unanswered goals. O'Leary giving him a little shove. Lebster, 24th goal of the year. And the Utah Grizzlies have taken the lead here in the third period. 5-4 with 2:32 left. Wow. What a change here in this back half of the third. Three goals in 2 minutes and 10 seconds for Utah. Puts them in front. Last one, they're first on the power play. They're 1 for 6. If it ends up being the winner, you'll take it. Callan wrists one in. Bassie makes the save. Near side corner, O'Leary drops for Adam. Night Monsters looking to tie it up. Poliani, far side, battling with ends. It's up to the point. Yevdokimov takes it the other way. Paperny was nearly out of the net. 2 minutes left here in this third. Wheeling it around, Callan. Papp looking for the signal. Callan chips it in. Papp standing at the face-off circle. He goes to the bench at 6-on-5. Casey Bailey, the extra skater. Callan's taken down. Crowd wants a call. Callan gets up. Friesen's got it behind the net. Still battling O'Leary and Weinstein. This one chipped down into neutral ice, and we get a whistle with 1:33 to go. My goodness, things are starting to heat up. One minute, 33 seconds left. It's an empty net for the Night Monsters. Adam, Bailey, Swick, Kapchek, Wall, Poliani out there. Utah forming a wall in front of Bassie on the far right side. Very important face-off here. Antsy drop. Crowd getting restless. Face-off won by the Grizzlies. Ends, wraps it around, and it's out all the way down. It won't go for an icing as it was tipped. Behind the net, Kapchek. It's open. He's got to be careful against Grattan. Plays it over to Bailey. Minute 15 left. Casey Bailey drops it off. Wall enters the zone. He's got some room. Tied up in the near side corner. Across for Adam. He'll wrap it back around. Wall is there. Oh, it hit off a stick. Grattan going for the empty net, and he scores. Utah is going to have 4 unanswered. Cash in for the dub. And it's the captain, Tyler Gratton, who finishes it off. 6-4, Utah looks like they're on their way to a series win on the road in Tahoe. And that is a heartbreaking way to drop this game. Bailey takes the draw at center ice. Maybe you get it quick when you still got a shot. Tried to drop it for Maye. It goes behind. 55 seconds left in the game. Utah leads 6-4 with 4 unanswered here in the third. Bailey edges into the zone. Works it to Adam. Net empty again. That one's up into the netting. 40.8 left on the clock. Lebster, 24th of the year, assisted by Genevieve and Friesen. That's the first point of the night for Danny Genevieve, and then Gratton capitalized even further. So, again, the Night Monsters surrender 4 goals in just under 4 minutes in the final 5 minutes of the period. 6-on-5 again. Same crew out there. Maye replaces Kapchek, the only change. Swick. Near side half wall. Cross ice intercepted by Lebster, and he will ice this game as he puts it in the empty net. It's 5 goals in the final 5 minutes for the Utah Grizzlies. And they are having a heck of a weekend on the offensive side. 16 goals in 2 games, 31 seconds left, and that's the dagger. Lebster scores 2 of the last 3. And there is a lot of jawing in between the benches. Poliani and Luke Adam instigating most of it. Hanson Buchanan really the only one dishing it back. Face-off won back by the Night Monsters. 25 seconds left. McGrew fires one on. Bassey makes the save and deflects it into the netting. We'll update you on all the goals. They came in a heartbeat. Lebster got the game go-ahead goal on the power play, assisted by Genevieve and Friesen. Gratton got the 6th. We'll wait on the assists. Lebster got the 7th. So he was denied an empty net goal on the score sheet last night. I still think he had it, but he gets the one tonight for sure. As that one's lofted on, it deflects wide. Boilar can't get it out. Derflinger keeping it alive. Far side, Pitters looking to center it. That one's deflected by Yevdokimov. D-to-D for Alger. That one saved by Bassey with 5.8. And now Derflinger being shoved by Weinstein. We might have some fisticuffs at the end of this one. They're just telling Bassey to get out of the way. Same with Boilar. Man, what an unfortunate turn of events here at the end of the game. Face-off won by Tahoe. It won't matter. The Utah Grizzlies, last-second chance, saved by Bassey and Utah. 5 goals in the final 5 minutes of regulation elevates them to the top of the pedestal here on Retro Weekend Night 1. 7-4, Grizzlies is the final score, and they take the series from Tahoe. And they'll look for the sweep tomorrow, but that one slipped away from Tahoe very late in the game. And it never came back. So Grizzlies come away with another 7-goal outing. They win 7-4. We'll be back on the other side of the break to wrap it up. You're listening to Night Monsters Hockey on Mixlr and watching live on FloHockey.tv and YouTube.
Innovation, performance, dedication. For nearly 80 years, thermal technology has been the leader in high-temperature furnaces and hot press centering systems built right here in the USA. Our cutting-edge DCS and hot press technology powers industries from semiconductors to aerospace, medical, and top research labs. We're proud to be the only U.S. OEM for SPS and DCS systems, delivering unmatched precision and providing support for up to 20 years, twice the industry standard. Built with precision, engineered for excellence, thermal technology, the high temperature experts. Fans, Lake Tahoe's South Shore isn't just a destination. It's a jaw-dropping, mind-blowing, awe-inducing experience. It leaves you happier, less stressed, and more connected to the world around you. This place is all sorts of awe and then some. And with the rules to lake by, you can help keep it that way. Just 5 simple rules to help keep Tahoe beautiful, clean, and safe for generations to come. It's connecting with nature and protecting it at the same time. Learn how you can help it. Visit laketahoe.com/RTLB. That's visitlaketahoe.com/RTLB.
If you're injured in an accident, here are the things that matter. Who you hire to represent you matters.
Where they live may seem like it doesn't matter, it matters.
The Richard Harris Law Firm employs over 150 local people.
Trabajamos aquí.
We live right here. We know Nevada. We know the courts. And we know how to win.
If you're injured in an accident, who you hire to represent you matters. The Richard Harris Law Firm, 222-2222.
Go on. Get a little out there. Into the big heart of Nevada. 60 million acres of wide open public land for night monsters like you to explore. From sagebrush saloons to ghost towns, epic adventures are in store. Experience Nevada away from the neon lights. Take a dip in a natural hot spring where the temperature is just right. And gaze up at the darkest skies in star-studded delight. Explore the Silver State and plan your trip today at travelnevada.com. That's travelnevada.com.
At GEHA, we stand behind our members because we are founded by members. So with 0 shareholders to mind, we keep our members in mind by offering a health plan for every stage of life. Plus hearing and fitness discounts. At GEHA, one thing is clear. Your health isn't our business, it's our purpose. That's why we've been trusted by millions of federal employees and retirees across the country since 1937. Visit GEHA.com to find